Crossover powered by Every Level Concrete Repair in Omaha at everylevelconcrete.com. Big day for your producer today.
Big shoes.
We got a happy birthday to Josh Hodson.
Shh, don't.
No, am I not supposed to say it?
We're not really publicizing that, Nick.
Why aren't we? Why? Are you afraid that people are going to throw you a weird birthday shout out? It's okay when I say it. If Connor or myself say it, you just got to be like, hey, guys, my birthday.
Josh has been very anti things that aren't work around here. And
you don't.
I'm on a crusade.
It's already on the TV out there. So
a mission to civilize, if you will.
Make work again.
And so Josh has been doing that a lot lately. And so there's, in Josh's mind, no time for fun and games.
That's right.
In the workplace.
Whoa.
That's why we put the kibosh on our birthday celebration last week.
Okay.
And my birthday was over the weekend, so we just skip right through that. And unfortunately, Josh has fallen during the week, and people have found out.
I'm sorry, Josh. How awful.
It happens.
People wishing you a happy birthday.
I appreciate the well wishes.
Yeah, and rooting for you to have a great day. How terrible of people right now.
I fall in this place where I want the people I like to wish me a happy birthday, but the people that I don't, that I know are just saying it because it's what you say when you hear it's someone's birthday.
Sure.
I don't want them to go, oh, happy birthday. Like, okay, that reaction does not match how you actually feel.
That's right.
I don't want an insincere happy birthday.
If somebody comes up to you and says, happy birthday, chump, and you're like, all right.
Okay, that's fine.
He wants sincerity.
Yeah.
He wants sincerity.
I understand that. That works. I'm actually more excited for you today on this day of your birth. Spencer Schwellenbach Day.
That's right.
That's exciting.
The Braves have said, hey, what can we get you for your birthday? And I said, how about an ace and a right fielder? And they said, well, we can't get you the right fielder, but
we hope Schwelly can be an ace.
We got this. We got this guy.
Yeah.
He might be something.
Yeah, this is exciting. I think you're going to get a lot of people that are trying to become an ESPN Plus subscriber today.
Oh, is it an ESPN Plus?
It is an ESPN Plus game, too. So you get that and the Natties and see if Schwelly can keep it rolling.
Stupid question. I've never really watched an MLB game on ESPN Plus.
What does it look like?
Do they just hijack the regional telecast?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like wonky graphics or anything. Okay. It's very subtle. You won't even know.
The Royals are due for. Oh no, they had that last weekend. They came out with a thing and they were like, we're going to be on ESPN Plus on Sunday, and I'm like, why do I care? I pay all this extra money to watch them on stupid Bally's and it doesn't work. God.
I'd like to say I pay a lot of money to watch Cleveland, but I don't because a mutual friend of ours refuses to let me chip in.
Refuses?
I was like, well, at least let me get you a case of beer. It's like, no, it's not a big deal. Quit talking about it.
The unfortunate part for you guys and fans of the ALs, fans of other AL Central teams is
Royals thing.
You have to play the Royals so much.
Yep.
And then if you don't have the Bally's or if you don't have cable, you just SOL.
Yep.
When you play the Royals however many times a year.
And Hulu, I'm sorry, not Hulu. YouTube TV does not.
Correct.
So
that is correct.
I am SOL for that one. In which Cleveland, Kansas City next week.
It will be next week, yes.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
June.
It's taken that long.
Yeah, I know.
That is insane.
They didn't play each other the entire. Now they did the thing this year where the divisional teams are not playing each other as much.
Yeah, because everybody didn't want the AL Central to beat up on the White Sox.
I wish I could play the White Sox 19 times.
I don't want
sick.
To. I don't want to after Cleveland lost a series with them.
Oh, really?
Ooh. Yeah, they sure did.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they won last night, but the Monday night game against Colorado, not great either.
Well,
guys are making me feel better about my own team and their struggles. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
The Guardians and the Royals just do the same thing every day, except for yesterday, apparently.
Yeah,
but
that's all right.
Now
you got an interdivisional thing going on there with the Twins too. But the Central's actually
the Royals can't beat the Twins.
We start puffing out our chest a little bit on the AL Central. It used to be laughed at, but now you got three legitimate teams in there.
The division of grandeur that is the American League Central.
Yeah, who's laughing now?
Exactly.
Right? Yes. I hope the Braves do well because I will be a Braves fan today. Spencer Schwellenbach, great dude.
I wonder if Schwelly will
see you're in.
I wonder if he'll head back to the farm after this.
I know that's the question.
I would imagine so.
Yes.
I would imagine so. But
Yes.
we will see.
Will he maybe fall back into at least AAA?
That's what I wonder.
Yeah.
Now the
now
Gwinnett Stripers have already made their trip to Omaha this year, so you'll not be headed our way.
I'm just looking forward to seeing Spencer Schwellenbach with a curve and a changeup, because remember when he was in Nebraska, it was just fastball.
I think they should put him at shortstop.
I know. Then
have him hit 3-hole.
Take him out, and then put him at short.
Yeah,
like all right,
we could just do the whole thing, just like the regional in 2021 again.
Do the double switch and everything.
Oh my God! Did you see how many pitches he threw at that regional? Is his arm going to fall off? He did. I mean, to be fair, he did have Tommy John.
Yeah, he did
since he's been in the pros. So,
but they only. I was trying to think about this earlier in the show. That 21 season, I think the most they stretched him out, he might have flirted with 3 innings in one game, in just one game.
Up it in the regional.
I don't even know if it was in the regional. No, I think this was just in a.
Because in the regional,
in a conference game, I think they might have stretched him to maybe 2 1/3, or he might have got close to 3 innings.
Because in the regional, didn't he go long in the first game where they had to come back and beat Arkansas? So the second time they played Arkansas,
maybe that's the game I'm thinking of. Then
let me check. The game that they actually won against Arkansas.
That might be it, because I know the conversation he was always having with Jeff
Schwellenbach threw. Yes, I remember this game vividly. Actually, Kyle Perry started.
Yep.
Through 4 1/3.
Right. Yep.
And Schwellenbach finished it off with a good old fashioned 4 2/3.
Oh, he went 4 2/3.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just 3.
4 2/3, gave up a hit, struck out 4, and allowed 0 hogs to score.
That's right.
I want to see the uniform today.
I was talking to the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers.
Start at the armpit
over
Nick
the weekend,
Batters?
Mr. Nicholas Batters.
What's his alter ego again?
Trick Gooders.
Oh, that's right, Trick Gooders. Yeah, that's good.
He was at the game that Charlie Welch hit the donger.
Yeah,
and the whole thing exploded.
Yep.
Not only was he at the game, he was in the hog pen. And not only was he in the hog pen.
Whoa.
He was about a foot away from the guy who ended up getting the ball. He was directly next to where the ball got hit.
Was he talking crap to Mojo too? Did Nicholas Batters decide to
That's what I said.
Heckling Mojo?
Yeah, were you giving hell to Mojo Hagee over the weekend? He was like, oh yeah, you bet. I was like, wow, what a small world.
Man, he really embraced the Arkansas baseball culture out there,
dude. I mean, it would be an easy culture to get into.
Would be.
They love baseball.
Were you hanging out in the hog pen?
I was not. I strolled around out there just to see the sights.
You just wanted to take it in.
But that was an eye opener for me, just because of how much they like. It's not when you go there. You go to college football towns, big time Division I programs. It's like, yeah, we're Arkansas fans, but really we're here for the football, and baseball is just cool as well. Mm-hmm. Not the case in Fayetteville. They love Arkansas baseball. They love Arkansas. Like, first and foremost, we love Hogs baseball.
It
was awesome.
A kid that I coached at Millard North, his brother played for Arkansas one year, and they were in, I think was it a super? It was a super. We were playing in a tournament in Kansas City, so we had an off day, so we were able to make a quick jaunt over there and catch a super regional game there. And so we were actually pro Arkansas for that game. We were sitting in the actual seats, and I remember, and this was when Baum Stadium was somewhat new. It was pretty intense then,
dude.
And I don't think they had the hog pen as established as they do now. But as far as unique college baseball scenes that are pretty damn cool and actually having a legitimate home field advantage, maybe next to Alex Box Stadium. I don't know if they got to at least be top 5.
Yeah, I mean, because this is not like a fair weather situation. It is like we love Arkansas baseball.
Yeah,
this is our primary focus.
Well,
they're like, we'll stroll over to the football game, and
don't they get that for like the midweeks too?
Yes, yeah, it's like it's a professional organization.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's very, very cool.
Kind of glad Nebraska's not there again.
And so it opened up my eyes. I think it opened up some folks at Nebraska's eyes too. They had some ideas that they came back with that have not been implemented, by the way.
Could be though.
Hey, maybe you should start.
Hey, they've got beer there now. What more do you want? Come on.
Oh, you got to get the hats with the beers on head hats.
Yeah. Oh, you have some foam hat, the old foam.
Those are awesome.
Foam dispensers.
They should be back. They should be back this year. Get the Hogs rolling into Omaha. Hopefully there's not ball that goes into foul territory beyond the first base side. And so we have to remember that. Every time a ball, I think we did Nick, you and I did a Creighton broadcast this year. But it happened.
And it goes to that area.
It happened probably once every 3 games.
Yeah.
A ball just goes into that area. I'm like,
Yep. Oh, let me shed a tear for our friends in Fayetteville. Yeah, I actually found Arkansas
poor Dave
to be very likable until Nebraska played in that regional. Then
I was
very anti. Well, just that year, I was very anti-Arkansas. So when the NC State beat them, I was like, yeah. And then unfortunately, NC State couldn't play for a championship series because they got COVID.
Too much COVID.
But yeah, that was the only year that I was openly rooting against them, and was very happy that they didn't make it to the College World Series.
So what happened in the Nebraska in that 7th game in the regional in 21? I never really got
the 7th game. Oh,
I'm talking about the 3rd game with Arkansas,
gotcha.
The regional final.
Like they played 7 games in that regional.
It was the 7th game, game 7, right? But
game 7.
So
not theirs.
Nebraska was up 2-0.
Yep. Oh, I thought it was going to happen.
And I was like, is this really? And they had Povich.
Yep.
They had Povich going.
And if you remember, he was. You have the line there.
Yeah.
What was Cade's line that day?
4 1/3, gave up a run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
And see, that's actually.
I would imagine the run he gave up was not even, wasn't even given up by him. It was Wynn, the guy who came in after him.
Yep.
Then Emmett Olson got an out, and then Frank and Buns just exploded.
Yep.
And then
Buns was so good in the regular season. Then once he got to postseason, man, he could not throw strikes.
That sucked. They were up 2-0, and then it was 2-2, and it was just like that was going into it was 2-2 going into the 8th.
Yep.
And they couldn't find a run there. Then they got the grand slam from Welch, and then it was.
If I remember, Cade, the line is interesting. This is why I don't think the stats always tell the true tale. Cade was fighting it a bit. And remember, he came off of short rest because he was the game 1 starter. But he was fighting it a bit. They weren't going to have him go overly long, but it wasn't like he was dominant. But just based on those numbers there, that's actually a decent line. He just
for a game 7, yes, yeah, absolutely.
You could tell he just didn't have
their
great stuff.
Their starter, who was just a bullpen guy, only threw 2 innings in that game before they turned it over to Cops.
Yep, that's right. Cops is like, hey, how long do you need me to go? I just threw 100 yesterday, so I mean, do you need me to go 150? Because I will.
Did he throw? Okay, so he threw 90 in game 7. Sorry, this is a bit of a deep dive now.
No, I like this.
He threw 90 in game 7. Didn't pitch in game 6.
Right.
Against Nebraska, and so they would have had to beat Nebraska the first time to get.
Yeah, and I think he threw in that one. Or did he not?
He did. He threw 71.
So he threw 71.
So he threw 71 and then
had a day off.
Had 1 day off and threw 90.
What about his arm? What if his arm fell off?
It's DVH, man. He's
I got no problems with it.
This is DVH. This is what he does.
I got no problems with it. Speaking of which, I know there's some people who are interested in this type of thing. The tickets are now on sale for the Stillwater Regional. Now, the problem with the regional tickets...
I'm so bummed it's not in Oklahoma City, though. Can we get a rain out?
The problem with the regional tickets is that the season ticket holders of the host program have first crack to get all of them if they want them. Mm-hmm. And then whatever is left will go on sale right now. And then they hold a couple hundred for like game day, hour before game, single session deals. It's going to be a very hard ticket to get.
It will be.
I would imagine that it will be a very difficult ticket.
I'm sure there's some entrepreneurial Cowboy fans.
Well, did you see?
Don't really care
especially
about
for that
game.
Nebraska-Florida game. They really don't care about missing out on that one.
Did you see the prices on the secondary websites for the Tennessee game 2?
No.
Because it would be who's the 2 in Tennessee's regional.
Oh, Indiana's in that regional. Who the hell does Indiana play? It's we were just talking about it earlier.
The 2 is Southern Miss.
That's right. Okay.
Southern
Miss in Tennessee.
The ticket prices.
And Southern Miss was considered to be a possible host.
They were selling they were selling single session for that game the winners bracket game on the second day, like single seat behind home plate, like best seat in the house.
Yeah.
It's like $1,500 or something. Like that. It's like, who's buying?
Hell
this?
no.
Who's going to do this?
No, wake me up when you make the super regionals for that.
Tennessee people are nuts. And they were here. They've been here. They were here each of the last 2 years, right?
They didn't make it the year before.
Oh, that's right, because they got beat by Notre Dame.
Yes, and that was when they had the ultimate bat flips, and they were swaggy P.
Yeah, I hate those guys.
Yeah. But then after last year,
I was disappointed.
I actually liked them last year.
For as much as their fans, get all this credit for being rabid and stuff like that. Where the hell were they? Where were they?
Other than Peyton Manning, there was no Tennessee representation.
Interesting.
It was very weak. Extremely weak. Although I came around on Tennessee last year because they were less swaggy P. Tony Vitello's a cool dude.
Seems like okay.
I was okay with them. But yeah, really $1,500?
$1,500 college baseball.
What do you think it cost? Well, I know they're not hosting, but I'd be curious if UNC ends up playing LSU.
Yeah, that is the best ticket of the second day of the potential winners bracket games. That's the best one we got.
Oh, that's like an old College World Series matchup for many years. Hell, you can go all the way back to Rosenblatt when those two teams would play each other.
And there is this overwhelming and now North Carolina is obviously really good, but there's this overwhelming sense that LSU has just kind of figured it out.
Yep. They've woke up.
They've retooled some things. They've figured things out. It took them, they just like everybody else in the SEC, they went 13-17 or something like that.
Oh yeah, like Florida,
and then they ripped through the SEC tournament, and now there's this sense that they could be the favorite out of that group to make it here, which
I wouldn't complain.
I wouldn't either, but it's always nice to have a little North Carolina. It's been a few years.
It has
on the heels. Yeah. I wouldn't mind them being back here.
I wouldn't either. I remember. I think the last time I remember LSU and North Carolina playing at Rosenblatt, I think Andrew Miller was on that team. I think that was Andrew Miller, North Carolina.
They've been here a couple times in the new.
I know they've been to the new stadium. I'm just talking about when LSU and North Carolina played each other.
Oh yeah,
in the College World Series. I know
Matt Harvey.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was Matt Harvey still chomping on the? Was he chomping on the chaws yet in college on the mound?
I think so.
That dude was a nutcase.
Yep.
Total nut.
Dark Knight.
I was watching that clip a few weeks ago where he was out there with the huge chaw and a bloody nose. The blood was running down into his mouth.
Yeah, there was a screw loose there.
And then the clip, then of course in game 4 of the World Series against the Royals in 15, they left him out there for the ninth. Mm-hmm. He was like, Terry, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out. And then the Royals did their thing and basically singled him to death. And
there was something going on it.
Was either game 4 or game 5
head of his.
I guess it was game 5. That might have been the clincher for the Royals.
Remember, didn't he? This was Matt Harvey. Yeah, it was Matt Harvey. Remember, he disappeared for a little bit too. Like he hadn't shown up to the ballpark for a couple of days.
Yeah,
he
went AWOL.
Yeah,
a few times.
Like, where's the Dark Knight at? He was out. He was solving crimes.
I think he liked. New York.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think he liked the mystery. He liked people.
He talked about that in some interviews that he really liked living and playing in New York and being a big deal in New York,
and then getting distracted and other things that happen. That's
Matt Harvey.
Yeah. Andrew Miller, though.
Yeah, Andrew Miller was awesome.
I remember him as a starter for I think it was one of the North Carolina games I was at. I'm like, this guy is pretty damn good. Yeah, I don't. If LSU didn't make it, I wouldn't be crushed. But I'll just always say it's more enjoyable when LSU is there because they live up to the reputation. The fans. And they
do. They always bring it.
There's always different versions of a good LSU baseball team. I don't think anybody would confuse this LSU team if they make the College World Series. That would be a favorite like they were a year ago. But
still got Tom Tanks.
Yeah, they do.
That's right.
Tom Tanks.
Wasn't he the one? Yeah, he's the one who hit the home run.
He was
into the this year
outer space.
No, the one this year that hit the.
Corey.
Yeah. That hit the dude.
Yeah, I'm fine.
His head.
Yeah, right off my head.
Yeah, I'm fine.
That's okay. I'm all right.
That is a ballpark I would like to go to.
Yeah.
I would like to check out an SEC weekend.
Let's go.
We should just do a weekend.
That'd be pretty funny. If we all just went down for a great SEC weekend, SEC basebal weekend.
Just go to Alex Box.
Like, what else are we doing? We do it the week after the spring game ends or something like that.
We go down there. We, if have to, maybe we find a place to post up, do a show on Friday, and then we just take in a couple of days, fly back on Sunday.
We'd be royalty.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not like they wouldn't love to have us.
Yeah, especially, you're the Omaha State. What are you scouting for us? Because we're going to be the treat these people like kings. Yeah, and they would. That's the
See you up here.
Especially when you show the Omaha credentials, and they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, just wear a big shirt that says Omaha.
Yep, I'm from Omaha. Yeah, they're just. You're right. You're right about so like Tennessee. I've said this about Texas as well, where I don't think they even pretend anymore that people care about Texas baseball, other than, hey, if it's going on at home in Austin, they'll go. But there was this belief when I was growing up that, Texas travels really well. They have a great baseball fan base. Nope. Zero.
Now they have a lot of grabbers on.
Oh, sure. Yeah. There's a lot of Omaha. Hey, I like to burn orange and I like to go against the establishment.
Yeah.
So I'm going to root for Texas.
To be fair, Arkansas has that too, but they
bring in a lot of people too.
They travel.
It's pretty impressive.
I've heard people ask the question, like, who would be, I mean, it's hard to tell. Maybe we get a better idea for this when we get into the Supers, but like the adopted Omaha team this year.
Yeah.
By the way, it is the 75th College World Series in Omaha.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys.
It's a big deal.
Heard that?
I have heard.
It's going to be probably some special embroidered hats.
I'm sure that everyone, including 1620 The Zone, will take the care of presenting this the way it should be.
We'll make sure you know. Might be special 1620 The Zone jerseys. I don't know.
I hope though that college baseball and specifically the College World Series as college sports inevitably change a lot over the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
This remains one of the pure kind of, I want to go here for a taste of nostalgia and like what things used to be like. Well, I hope it's positioned almost that way.
Well, isn't that baseball though?
When you go there, when you go to the College World Series, it still feels like that.
Yes.
It hopefully it retains that, even though, they might not have roster limits and they're going to be, everybody's going to get paid.
Everybody's going to be on Scully.
And there's going to be, like Stony Brook's not going to make it anymore. Like hopefully it still holds a little bit of that.
I know, like the big Cinderella will be NC State.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Now, I remember this last year. It didn't get, and I'm glad it didn't get mainstream discussion. But remember during the College World Series, I think it was Tennessee, was hosting a couple, or had to get on, I think Tony V had to get on a Zoom for a potential transfer portal audition for the following year. Because remember the transfer portal window, I think, was open during the College World Series. And so that was weird, because then they were trying to manage getting ready for the College World Series team or College World Series, but also being able to manage their roster with potential transfer portals.
That sucks.
It didn't get a lot of discussion, which is good. That's always going to be there. No matter what, we just have to get used to it. But as long as it doesn't take up any major conversation, I think it can still deliver like what you're describing.
Do you think Chase Burns knew that he was going to transfer from Tennessee to Wake Forest while he was
he's there? He's
last year.
They're meeting each other in the tunnel, maybe sharing a BP in the hitting cage, and like, hey, so this is how we do it at our practices. What do you think? Yeah, it's there's just so many weird things that you're almost, I don't know, kind of numb to. Yeah, but as long as that event. And maybe we're saying this because we're biased because we're the caretakers of this, our city, that is as long as it doesn't become unrecognizable from a standpoint.
I don't think it will.
I don't either. And that's why I think that the sport of baseball will keep it very recognizable.
Yeah, because like it or not, I mean, we now have a little evidence here. Most of the conferences, specifically the Big Ten and to a certain extent the SEC, when they receive all this money that they're going to be getting, they're not going to be dumping it onto baseball. No. Obviously, SEC cares about baseball a whole hell of a lot more than the Big Ten does. I think personally the Big Ten has a great opportunity to use some of their money to promote the sport of baseball and make it better within the walls of their conference, but they choose not to. They choose to play the game at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Well, and I know that was the big push.
People are at church.
I heard some people talking about, well, did you hear Tony Petitti was really
he's a baseball guy.
He is, and he was talking about that last week about having to make the baseball product better and more appealing to their Big Ten audience.
Go ahead.
What do you think he's going to say when he's attending a Big Ten baseball event?
Yeah.
He's going to be asked the question, obviously. What do you think he's going to say? You know what? It's fine the way it is.
Also, we didn't talk about this, but so they had the announcement over the weekend, and right during that game that the Big Ten baseball tournament's staying in Omaha for another 3 years.
Yeah,
then
27.
What?
I'm not believing.
My question would be, then what?
So
LA, anybody?
I threw this out. Depending on
Dodger Stadium.
Do you think they would be up to rotate?
Yeah, I think that's
I don't even think rotate like college campuses. We remember when they
rotate MLB stadiums.
Yeah, like when they tried to do Target Field, that was awful. It was. There was nobody there.
It was.
But if they try to get big with this, and the only way I think you even consider that is if the addition of the 4 West Coast schools ups your profile to where it's at least a product that people are somewhat paying attention
to. What
do
you want? Like, do you want people to show up? If you want people to show up, then you got to keep it here forever.
Yep, exactly.
If you want it to
be showcased at
if you want it to look cool, probably
but
here is still a good option.
It just doesn't look cool when there's nobody there.
No,
that's the thing. When I think of baseball and I think of the best environments, it's when you have either the smaller environments that are just jam-packed, like every regional you watch this week and the super regionals, that to me is the coolest environments to do that in. Like I keep thinking if you wanted to make the Big Ten tournament even cooler, a ballpark like Warner would be so much better because even with the non-Nebraska games, you'd at least have some butts in the seats where it doesn't look like it's completely a ghost town. Where like even if you had 3,000 people, it would look like there's actually people there.
Yeah, it'd be rocking in there for sure. But I don't know. I mean, there's only so much you could do. The Big Ten is not as you know, not a centrally located conference.
Well, that's very true.
So there's nowhere, like you don't have Hoover. You know, you just it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, it's here in
Hoover
27.
Hoover,
27. Yep.
Hoover is probably Chicago.
Right.
The Big Ten's Chicago is poll question. Is Chicago the Big Ten's Hoover?
All right.
It's so misleading.
You could do it somewhere else in 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in 29, you could have it at Jackie Robinson Stadium for the 90th anniversary of Jackie Robinson enrolling at UCLA.
Yeah.
And you can do like the Big Ten Zone, Jackie Robinson.
That would I think you're onto something there because we know as the Big Ten, as you add schools, you like to claim everything even before they were a Big Ten member. So now, come July 1st, Jackie Robinson will be a Big Ten alum.
And
how about that?
And that's a small enough capacity stadium
that's
to where
true.
It doesn't matter if nobody's there.
That is very, very true. I don't know what
hell I'd go because I'm wearing a Jackie Robinson shirt and I'd be like, well, Nebraska, Jackie Robinson. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot. Well, oh wait, no, this is more. You canceled Nebraska basketball, but you didn't cancel baseball.
I canceled their baseball team last year.
Oh, last year. That's right. I thought there was a canceling.
But you got the idea, right? He's just a general hater.
No. I demand excellence. I'm sorry.
You have high standards, and only very few can live up to them. I get it. I think is USC still Rod Dado Field?
I don't know.
I think that's like a.
I don't know.
Pretty small. I think that's a pretty small.
I don't. That's the thing about these West Coast teams. What the hell happens out there? I have no idea what happens on the West Coast.
I know Oregon's got a pretty good baseball setup.
Yes, but what do they do?
Yeah,
it is Dado.
Yeah, Rod Dado.
Dado. Yes.
Yeah.
They played their home games off site this year.
Classic.
Oh, maybe they're doing a little bit of
the new state of the art Dado Field is being constructed.
Okay.
Dado.
One of the coolest things, Rod Dado, when he'd come to the
coach's name, Andy Stankowitz.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's your favorite little rat.
Let's get stanky.
Rod Dado, before he passed away, he would always go to the College World Series at Rosenblatt. He'd walk around. He had a cane that was shaped like it was. The handle was a baseball, like a small baseball, and then it was like a bat. It was really cool. It was pretty neat.
That guy gets it.
He does. He lives it. He lived it his entire life.
Dead.
Oh, come on, man.
Well,
and I mean it's facts, but I feel like you had a tone there.
I'm just saying,
a very disrespectful tone.
I'm just saying, what happens out there? What are they doing?
Great question.
What are they doing out there?
Full question. What are they doing out there?
What are they cooking over there? We don't know anything about these people.
Never know what they're doing.
And they're joining. I never know what he's doing. They're joining this conference.
Like, where do the Gauchos play at a stadium that's capacity is 1,000?
Oh, Tal Anderson has it beat. How about that? Washington, I honestly couldn't tell you much about
that. Feels like a field that has a turf field with a big W in the middle.
Big W in center field, and probably capacity 2,100.
Let's see.
But it probably
Husky Ballpark. It is a turf field. There's a big W, but it's behind home plate.
Oh, it's behind home plate. Okay.
And it looks, and if you hit a home run really far, it would go into a body of water.
Would it go to Puget Sound?
I have the capacity.
What's the capacity?
2,200.
Oh, I was close. All right.
Oh, actually, it looks like they've redone the turf. And now it says Chaffee Field, and there is a big W in center field now.
Amazing. Amazing.
They renovated it to make the big W.
Well, you got to move the big W. Okay. It's not getting enough exposure. Well, they know they're about to move to the Big Ten. They've got to bring it. All the pearls.
How many Big Ten
are in the Big Ten?
How many Big Ten schools? Now, when Nebraska, I have a lot of questions now. How many Big Ten schools, first of all, have a big logo in center field?
Minnesota does.
Yes.
So at Siebert, they do.
Yeah, you would know this better than anybody.
Michigan, I don't. Well, actually, I think now I'm thinking about it. I think Michigan does too. Penn State's natural.
Yeah.
So they don't.
So Rutgers got a big R.
Rutgers does have an R, but I believe their R is behind.
Okay, that's fine. That's allowed.
Yep.
That's legal. Very cool. Very legal.
I've never been to Columbus, so I don't know, but I know they're a turf field.
Doesn't smell like a big O.
I Googled Rutgers baseball stadium and it took me to their website.
Big R?
Bainton Field, big R in center field.
Oh, it is in center. Okay. Yeah. I try to forget a lot.
There's one also behind the plate.
Yeah. Maybe they've added the R since I've been there.
Is there a big O at Oregon? What's up with these logos?
I think so. Yeah, I think there is an O.
There's a big O at Tal Anderson
There's a big O
Field
somewhere. Well, they have that look where it looks like it's mowed into the turf.
It is not colored.
It's not colored. Yeah.
Correct.
See, I like the
That's fine.
The non-color look is pretty cool.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's like you have someone who's mowing really
was
good.
mowed.
Okay, the mowed one. Okay, I'm talking about like the color one because I know Minnesota has a colored one.
Now, if and when Nebraska gets their turf, will they have Big N?
If it's mowed in there, I think I think they will, and I think they should if it's mowed in.
I would think that it would be Big Red N.
No.
Oregon's capacity 4,000.
Ooh,
PK Park.
Let's go.
They had a fun super last year.
It appears to be a normal stadium.
Feels like a conference tournament host site right there in 2028.
Now, however, the Wikipedia page, I guess it would be a profile picture. It's from when a pair of minor league baseball teams played there.
Nice.
So,
okay.
Nice. They got like a salt dog situation out there. Or is this the Portland Pickles?
It appears the Eugene Emeralds also.
Eugene Emeralds.
Good squad.
I just, think about it. Think about what you want on Nebraska's new baseball turf field whenever they
don't do the red. Don't do the color.
It's a big red end in center field.
Just leave that at midfield.
Could be fun
at First National Bank of Omaha Memorial Stadium.
They could take the turf from the football field, move it over to the baseball field.
You mean when they're going to do grass?
And take the baseball grass and move it over to the football field.
Do they take the underground heating system that we don't know if it ever worked to begin with?
Or the drainage system that definitely doesn't work either? Yeah.
All these things like, this underground heating system, state of the art. Why is there still snow on the ground? Well, that thing's not running yet.
It doesn't really look like it.
Has it ever worked? Well, that's a good question. We don't know how to turn it on.
These are all questions that we have to think about. Do we want to join the masses and put a giant logo in center field? I agree.
I'm cool with the logo as long as it looks like it's mowed in.
Okay. All right.
Because I think that's kind of a cool look. Like I love the O logo at Tal Anderson. I think that's cool.
It's fine.
But when you go colored, it's just kind of like, look at me.
It's definitely throwing it at you.
Yeah, I don't. Sure. And if you're going to do that, it's pretty bold. You better be damn good. Because if you're going logo, look at my logo. You better be a really good college baseball team.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Minnesota, I'm talking to you. What's going on there? Yeah, big old M right there.
They only play about
field.
4 home games.
That's true. And I think they do, even on their turf at US Bank Stadium.
That's right. They put the big M.
They've got the M there too.
They do put the big M.
The M travels, folks. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But
Travis says 100% baseball Herbie in dead center.
Ooh, Moden baseball Herbie? Because I
color baseball Herbie.
No, you could put that behind home plate though, like a smaller one. I'd be okay with that.
So much stuff, so many opportunities.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of room for activities there.
Amazing. I know Big Red Huskers script across the entire outfield.
Ooh.
Oh, hello.
Now again,
we can make some mock-ups of this.
Are we talking colored or are we talking the Moden?
Oh, I think you know. Colored. Script Huskers died though. Trev killed it.
Do we get red pinstripes on top of the grass with the script in there?
See, now we're cooking.
Ooh,
now we got a baseball field.
Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got a lot of options for us. Just a lot of stuff to look forward to. Thank you, Nick.
It's baseball season.
That is the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Wednesday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The bottom line is, for 6 months of YouTube TV, 5 of Prime Video, 1 month each of Peacock, ESPN Plus, and Netflix, comes to a grand total of $506.86. And then if you want to add the Sunday ticket, you're looking at $855 if you want access to every single NFL game played this season.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A fantastic day ahead for Wednesday. Expect mostly sunny skies throughout the day with a southeast breeze, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Borderline top 10 day with highs near 80. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Forget the drive to Colorado or Missouri. Step into any Omaha 42 Degrees and indulge in a curated cannabis experience. Premium flower, cannabis, pre-rolls, and cannabis accessories paired with an elevated customer service experience. All are waiting for you at 42 Degrees. From novices to connoisseurs, we're here to elevate your cannabis journey. 42 Degrees, your destination for top-tier cannabis, second to none product selection, and exceptional service. By your mom's house.
Oh, ghost of George Washington here. Being the face of the dollar bill used to mean something, but today I just don't get any respect. But that's all changed with Lotto America from the Nebraska Lottery. People know that Lotto America only costs $1 to play, has a $2 million starting jackpot, and drawings 3 nights a week. I'm back, baby.
Calm down, George.
Hey, nobody asked you, Ghost of Andrew Jackson.
Lotto America top prize odds, 1 in 26 million.
Summer is here, Father's Day is around the corner, and there is no better place to get dad outfitted than Lindley Clothing. Or yourself. Guys, Lindley Clothing has been outfitting us men for over 88 years. And now with summer here, shorts, polos, short sleeve shirts, golf attire, they've got it all at Lindley Clothing. They're a staple in Omaha. They could be a staple in your wardrobe with the top-notch brands from Jack Victor all the way to Peter Millar. Sportswear to tailored clothing, Lindley Clothing has you covered. Top to bottom. Shop now at their location, 132nd and West Dodge in the Linden Market. It's Lindley Clothing.
Introducing Modern Real Estate, the game changer in Nebraska's property market. With a competitive 2% commission rate, we're making buying, selling, and investing more affordable and transparent than ever. Our experienced agents blend local expertise with cutting-edge technology to provide top-notch personalized service to all clients. Don't settle for less when you can save big without compromising. Visit modernrealestateco.com and experience the future of real estate today. Modern Real Estate, redefining the way you do real estate.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. It's Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. Happy birthday to Josh Hodson today.
Thank you, Connor.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I appreciate your well wishes.
We're on the air. We are over the loudspeaker in the bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe various other places around the office. Maybe they tend to listen to us upstairs from time to time. So just, Josh is trying to keep it a secret. It's Josh's birthday.
You keep looking out there. What are you looking at?
I'm not looking at anything. There's nothing. I got no surprises for you today other than to declare my public admiration for you. Okay.
You did bring me a salted nut roll this morning, and I appreciate that.
I slid into the vending machine room at when I got here at whatever past 9, and I said I'm going to spend $2 on my good friend Josh.
You did not put any pennies in the machine because you would never.
By the way, did you know that there is another message on that same Post-it note now?
No. What does it say?
It says something. I should have taken a picture. It says something along the lines of, I lost $1.75, and then it has like a date, I think, on it. Like this person,
somebody turned it into an invoice.
This person is expecting to get IOUs on the vending machine. It's like, you're not getting that money back. I apologize. You lost it. Like, this is just the cold, hard truth about a vending machine. Once you put that money in, it is no longer yours anymore. You're either getting a candy bar or nothing.
That's the social contract you enter when you commit to the vending machine.
Yeah. You're not getting refunded.
Yeah.
Nobody's paying for it. You just lost it. And so it doesn't do any good to put a note on the vending machine to tell people that you lost this money, because nobody's giving it back to you. That's for sure.
Definitely.
But I just really like the bit of people continuing to add notes to that Post-it note that says, please don't put pennies in here.
Couldn't possibly get another Post-it note in this building.
That's what's going on our vending machines around the office. So this will be a great day for Josh. Josh's birthday, which he's very happy about, very excited about.
Oh, very, very.
He gets to watch Spencer Schwallenbach pitch.
I do on ESPN Plus.
On ESPN Plus. The Royals played during the day today.
On MLB TV.
Paul Skeens will pitch today too.
That's right. Skeens Day. Tariq Skubal Day.
Tariq Skubal will be on pitching during our show today.
That's right.
In just about an hour. Hell yeah! All right, and that's what we're giving. That's what we're giving Josh for his birthday today. Unfortunately, Ronald Acuna's knee not on the list of presents.
I'd give him my own ACL if it would help.
You're running out of them. You tried to do that the last time. Running out of them by this point. All right, today on the show, we'll talk to Mitch Sherman in a little under an hour about some Husker football related topics, things of that nature. We will open up the tweet bag at noon. That's right. Send in your questions at Happer Show, at Connor Happer, at producer_Josh, and the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. You can email Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com in the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. You can leave a comment on our YouTube. We say good morning to our YouTube streaming audience today. And you can watch along with us at 1620thezone.com. Call or text 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. The tweet bag will open up at noon, and that is today's lineup. Powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Elsewhere, today on the show, we'll bring up an old friend.
I love friends.
Trevethius. Trevor.
Oh.
People started to call him Trevor after he left.
That's a funny bit that I can get on board.
Kind of is. He's just Trevor now. He's saying some things. We'll decide if he's right or wrong at the SEC meetings this week, which are increasingly becoming a thing in Destin, Florida.
Mini media days.
We got an update on the Nebraska football roster pertaining to one newcomer coming this fall. What's he up to in the offseason? We'll get to that.
Somebody get arrested already?
No.
Okay.
No arrests. Okay. No arrests that I know.
That's how you know you're back, though, when your players are getting arrested.
No arrests that I know of yet. We'll dive into a very intriguing subject that was around yesterday. Major League Baseball is changing history. They are changing their record books, and they are integrating verified Negro Leagues box scores. I have very conflicted kind of thoughts on this.
Hank Aaron just got 5 more home runs, everybody.
Yeah, interesting.
760.
We have a new leader in all-time batting average,
That's
career
right.
batting average. I mean, we have actually a lot of different things going on in terms of the all-time leaderboards in Major League Baseball history, and we will get to that
Ty Cobb
during the show today. Yeah, now Ty Cobb. Do you get to take Ty Cobb out of the Hall of Fame now?
Just the funniest way for Ty Cobb to lose that.
USC tried to scofro the LSU game.
I don't know anything about this, and I want to know everything about this.
I think you know. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. But
Max Olson put out his re-rank of the 2020 class. Nebraska, as you may have come to understand, has not been very good over the last few years.
Whoa.
And their 2020 class actually completely fell apart instantly. So I knew that Nebraska wasn't going to be on this list if you ranked like the top 25. Max did the top 35. Nebraska also did not make that. We're talking about Power 5 programs. I'd be surprised if they made the top 60.
Wait, how many Power 5 programs?
I think there's 63 or 4.
Okay.
Something like that. So we will dive into that during the show today. And a sure staple of the offseason, ladies and gentlemen, anonymous coaches talking about other programs from Athlon. It is out today.
Happy summer, everybody.
Happy summer indeed. Now, I'll ask the question, why are some of these things off the record? I have no idea. They're not really saying anything anymore. It's not, I want it to be more salacious.
Yeah.
If you give somebody the opportunity to say stuff off the record, they better say something.
F your fraternity of coaches.
Exactly. But we'll figure out which way the wind is blowing.
Call Brett Bielema a fat.
Based on what the other coaches in the league are on. All right, we're off and running. Stay safe out there, everybody. No severe weather in the forecast, but just in case a sinkhole opens up somewhere, you want to be aware of that.
My God,
that is a big sinkhole.
That's a big hole.
That is a big sinkhole. So
33rd and where?
If you're in the area of 33rd and Cass today,
okay,
just do not plow through those construction barriers that they have. You'll not like what's on the other side.
Screw these cones. I'm going anyway.
Those cones are there for your safety. You would fall into the center of the earth if you went through those cones and into the hole, because that is a big sinkhole.
Big hole.
Big hole. So welcome to Sinkhole City, baby. And
this town's falling apart.
It's just in time for the College World Series. Mr. Yogurt's up to something this morning.
Oh,
he has announced that Nebraska has signed a new contract for Mr. John Cook. Mr. Yogurt is cooking.
Oh.
The recently completed deal runs through January 31st, 2029. He'll make $825,000 a year beginning on June 1st, which represents a $75,000 annual increase. Additionally, he will receive a retention bonus of $70,000 on July 1st of this year. John Cook under contract through the 2029 season. So thoughts about his retirement have been greatly exaggerated.
I didn't think he was going to do this another 5 years. Great. This is great news.
Off and running on a Wednesday. We could react to that and plenty more as we return from Sinkhole City. The Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
My taco pie is really something special, and it can't be imitated. It starts with my zesty taco sauce, seasoned beef, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, mounds of cheddar, and mozzarella cheese. This pie is the real deal. For a limited time, build your own feast with the specialty pizza, like my taco pie, a one-topping pizza, and cinnamon monkey bread. Do yourself a favor and order. Today, Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Hello?
Jan, it's Kay. Are you and Rich free for dinner tonight? I'm making pizza.
Sounds great. What time?
6 p.m.?
Sorry, can't do it. Wheel of Fortune is on and Rich won't miss it.
You're kidding.
Nope. He's seen every episode since 1975. He won't budge.
Listen, tell him if he comes, we'll buy him a bunch of Wheel of Fortune scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery.
Won't work. He has to see the show.
That's just it. Until July 30th, if Rich enters any non-winning $5 Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket online, he could win the ultimate fan trip to Los Angeles, including airfare and accommodations. He'll also win tickets to a live taping of Wheel of Fortune and get to spin the big wheel to win at least $2,000.
That might work. Could you do just one other thing?
Sure. What?
Could you write free spin and pepperoni on every other slice of pizza?
Why don't you just come at 7?
Wheel of Fortune top prize odds, 1 in 112,000.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination. Get in zone, AutoZone.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
All right, a couple things for you here, Josh, before we get to the anonymous coaches.
Yeah, let's hear that hot goss.
So first, a few emails. One from John in the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, John.
Can someone please explain to me how someone that is supposedly smart enough to perform a task well enough to be paid for that work is not smart enough to know to not put pennies in a vending machine? I cannot.
Oh, I think you'd be shocked at the
ineptitude.
Goings on at NRG Media Omaha.
Also, John emails in and says, Josh has always struck me as someone that hates fun. With that being said, a very sincere happy birthday to him.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that.
That seemed sincere.
I don't hate fun. I just we're here to work, guys. It's a fun job. That doesn't mean we can't not work.
Somebody, in honor of your birthday, I was told to ask this question to you.
Oh God.
Is Ronald Acuna baseball Derrick Rose?
Won one MVP amidst a career of season-ending injuries. Huh.
I can tell this is the first time you've ever considered this.
This is. Acuna has a ring.
That is true.
Derrick Rose
only
has an odd face tattoo. I saw that this morning.
Yeah. So what's your verdict? Not yet? Or
I think he's
trending down that path?
Sure.
Are you worried about him?
Yes. It is officially time to worry about Ronald Acuna Jr.
He's only 26. It's not like he's 33.
He's 25.
He's 25?
Mm-hmm.
My Wikipedia just said he was 26.
Oh.
Maybe his birthday is today. No.
Could it be?
He was born December 18th, 1997. That
26.
makes him 26.
Yeah, 26.
Come on, Josh.
Wow, my source at The Athletic got it wrong.
How old do you think Derrick Rose is right now?
God, he could be 30 or 40.
That's right. Try smack dab in the middle.
35.
Yes, you got it. He did appear in 24 NBA games this year. Did you know that?
No.
Is this true? Is this the right Derrick Rose? Yeah.
Huh.
He appeared in 24 NBA games this season at age 35.
For
the Memphis Grizzlies.
That would have been my guess. Okay.
He started 7 of them. Imagine starting Derrick Rose in 2024.
The Memphis Grizzlies had a lot of things happening this year to where they needed anyone and everyone.
Yeah, look at that neck tattoo.
Look at his face tattoo that he got.
Really?
Yeah, this is like this morning it was news.
Oh, hold on.
Derrick Rose face tattoo.
All right, Googling. Derrick Rose gets new face tattoos. As in he had other face tattoos before?
Who's to say?
It just says 2 words. Privileged knowledge.
On his left temple.
Yep. That's not really a face tattoo. It's more of just a head tattoo. Also, the triangle on the neck, is that an Illuminati thing? What's Derrick Rose up to?
I would love to be able to tell you. I can't.
All right. We got sidetracked a little bit.
Sure
but just
did.
keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, Josh, when you think about Ronald Acuna going forward. All right. Once again, the tweet bag's open for you guys. We'll dive in. We'll reach in the bag and see what we come up with in exactly 1 hour. A staple of the offseason of college football, Big Ten coaches talk anonymously about conference foes for 2024.
Spill that tea.
As put together by Athlon Sports. Many others will also do this summer, and there might be more productive things or less productive things to come out of them. And guess what? For all of you publications that may or may not be listening, I will click every time. I love clickbait. Especially in the months of June, July, and August. I will click every single time, just so you know. So if you're considering, maybe we shouldn't do the anonymous coach thing this year, do it. I will click. It doesn't matter if it's productive. Doesn't matter if it's unproductive. I will click on it. So without further ado, the comments on Nebraska read as such from anonymous Big Ten coaches. Now, I will warn you, this is very scintillating.
Ooh, spicy. Let's go.
Incredibly spicy. So you tell me, you stop me when you're getting a little overwhelmed, Josh.
Spicy margarita.
They're going to break through this year. It's just a question of how big. They should definitely be bowling.
Hello, Nebraska's back, baby.
This is not significant. I just for the record, it was sarcasm at the top. None of this is none of this is important at all.
One coach thinks that Nebraska is back, all the way back.
Second coach, maybe the same coach, who knows? It's all about the quarterback. They've tried to slow play it as much as possible, but he's clearly their best option, the most talented, the guy who makes the system work. That's right. Who is it?
Dylon.
Thank you. Matt Rule has done a great job reworking the offensive talent. They're going to have some breakout wide receivers, and they have a really deep group of running backs.
Oh, hello.
They have a really deep group of, they're deep in the sense that there's a lot of people.
A lot of bodies, yes. Can any of them run the ball effectively? I don't know.
Tony White is going to be a head coach soon.
Well,
but getting him back for another year is just huge for them. I thought the shift to the 3-3 worked out really well for them, and they're starting to look like the old or legendary Nebraska with size and talent front on defense.
Connor.
Josh, you're shaking a little bit.
This conference is scared of Nebraska.
I just feel like if you're going like if you're going off the record and you're like calling people and you're saying, hey, you want to comment off the record? Like, come on, give me some more. Give me some juice here.
These are all compliments.
But I think what I mainly got out of this, and we'll read you some snippets from other programs as well, as said by other Big Ten coaches. I think you just get a good sense of kind of where the wind is blowing, right? How people inside the conference feel about the general direction of the programs, and, in some cases more specifically this year, and in some cases more specifically some players on this year's team.
Dan Lanning fears Matt Rule.
I wonder who said it, but there does seem to be a little Matt Rule love fest in the league. That's for sure.
They're kissing the ring. They know what's coming.
I like this one about Minnesota. Now, if they love Matt Rule, what do they think of PJ Fleck?
Now, here might be some spicy smack talk.
This is actually mildly juicy.
Ooh.
The first one says, they're never dull. That's for sure.
Okay.
Skip through that one. The second one is this. I think PJ Fleck chased UCLA and some other jobs pretty hard to get out of there, and it didn't happen for him.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
We've heard that now every offseason.
Uh-huh.
PJ Fleck could be a candidate for this job. PJ Fleck could be a candidate for this job.
Turns out nobody wants him.
Seems like he kind of actively does not want to be at Minnesota anymore. But he'll keep telling you how much he loves Minnesota. There was that. Should we check in with our friends across the Missouri?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What's going on with the Hawks? What do people think about the Hawks this year? Go Hawks. Is there anything about Caitlin Clark in here? Let's find out. Everything here is automatic except the offense. Their premier development and depth program at how they scout, build, and develop on defense and special teams. It's just the offensive component. Everybody knows that. Thank you. How much is Tim Lester, new offensive coordinator, really going to affect this program? How much can Cade McNamara do coming off the injury? Are they going to come out in 11 personnel on first down? Lester was a 4 receiver look guy at Western Michigan. Once again, could have been on the record. This is one of the best tight end programs in the history of the game.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go on record as saying that.
I don't think anyone really knows what it's going to look like, but the idea that Kirk Ferentz's son was the sole problem on offense, no way.
All right.
So the wind continues to stand exactly still for Iowa. Nothing moving right or wrong in that direction. Josh, you interested in Ohio State?
Oh, yeah.
The Bucks?
Are we all trying to cut Ryan Day down at the knees?
Let's see.
He's never won anything of significance.
Big Ten titles.
Well, those are a dime.
Has he won a Big Ten title?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure seems like he should have.
They beat Michigan the one. I have a hard time differentiating when it was Urban Meyer and when it was him. He took over in 19?
Yeah, 2-time Big Ten champion.
Okay, that's good.
Big Ten Coach of the Year in 2019.
Ohio State, quote, It's not national title or bust, but it's certainly beat Michigan or bust. And the expectation is always to win the league. This may be the most talented roster Ryan Day has had since he took over.
Keep all those things anonymous.
Yeah, well, yeah, very important that you do so. This is very, very, very talented team. Maybe the most talented team Ryan Day's had since he's took over. And a comment about Will Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Will Howard doesn't have to be special. He just has to be smart. That signing didn't turn heads the way some of the other flashier portal quarterbacks might have, but all he has to do is manage and distribute. They're absolutely stacked at other positions. So there rises a little bit of a question with Ohio State, because I'm not sure that I agree with that assessment. I thought that was the whole point of going out to get the number one quarterback in the portal. If you wanted to just have a quarterback to distribute and be smart and not make mistakes, you would have kept what's his name, who almost went to Nebraska, who's at Syracuse now, McCord. The expectation is that Will Howard is going to be better than that, right? I don't know about his chances to be better than that, but I always thought that was kind of how they were framing it up. Like, we need a quarterback who could actually do stuff for us. You think about Ohio State and their successful seasons over the last, decade here. It's always revolved around the quarterback. They're not always this talented, but it's always revolved around the quarterback. Whether it's JT Barrett or even going back to Braxton Miller or CJ Stroud or Justin Fields or Dwayne Haskins, it was always about their quarterback. So I don't know. I mean, they got to really commit to beating teams 31-7 if they're going to do it this way. I thought that was sort of an interesting comment. Day, and by the way, they got Chip Kelly to run their offense. It's just a weird combo there. Day is a great collaborator. The Chip Kelly thing won't be a nuisance or a problem at all. If you believe what Chip said, he just wants to focus on the ball, and not worry with the administrative stuff. So this is a fantastic hire for them. Nothing really matters until they could get Michigan off their backs in November. The standards here are higher than anywhere else this season. I mean, once again.
Okay, so you interview a lot of people.
Brag.
Is there a certain point where you would tell these coaches, no, hold on, stop. We're not just talking. Like, we're not just doing the thing. Like,
you're gonna have to trust me here, a little bit. I'm gonna put this out there, and I'm not gonna attach your name to it. There's going to be no sense of if this get back to you. But come on, talk some junk, say some stuff.
If there's anything you want to get off your chest, if there's anybody who's grinding your gears, this is your chance.
Yes. If you want to say something that other people don't know about, that's going on behind the scenes, maybe in the recruiting world, maybe in the portal world, maybe this is your time to say it.
Maybe Brett Bielema offers players cocaine. Maybe.
Yeah, like you said, I wish somebody would call Brett Bielema fat. I wish that would have happened.
Dan Lanning is taking steroids.
Yeah, something. He must be. He's so crazy.
Yeah.
Let's check in on USC. Lincoln Riley screwed up and held on to a bad situation with his DC. It's season too long. But hiring Lynn from across town was a smart move. D'Anton Lynn, who is the new USC defensive coordinator, who was the UCLA defensive coordinator. Kind of a can't beat him, hire him situation. Expect improvement schematically overall with the new system. They've upgraded in the secondary. They'll be better than they were under Grinch. Obviously, they're replacing Caleb Williams, but the bigger question is if they can get both lines playing better. They can ease a new quarterback in if they're protecting him. They're getting push on the defensive side. They didn't look anything like the old USC glory teams in the trenches the last few years. I mean, obviously, I don't want to minimize the importance of losing Caleb Williams.
But
I mean, it's I feel like that's a pretty significant piece of this. You're going to take a giant step down at quarterback, and maybe he masked some of your problems on the offensive line over the last couple of years. You're right. I mean, he's that person's right. They got to get better in the trenches, especially playing in a conference like the Big Ten. I mean, like I said, I'm going to click every single time. But I think the thing that you take from this is that the wind seems to be blowing in kind of a positive direction about Nebraska. There is like this sense of, yeah, I really think they kind of, not that they figured it out in the past tense, but they are in the process of figuring it out at Nebraska. And then there's also the Raiola factor, which is, I mean, that's what everybody else thinks about this team too, right? We all think that they're really on the right path. They're doing a bunch of things right, and then you infuse a little Dylan Raiola into the situation, a little Dylon into the situation, and how much does that make it just blow up right away?
Well, they've got a number of great running backs, according to that one coach.
Deep running back room. They get a bunch of running backs who
just a full running back.
They just got a bunch of running backs. We'll see if they're any good or not for Nebraska this year. But there is this growing sense that they'll be able to run the ball and whatever. So that is the anonymous coaches from Athlon Sports. I read through all these. I wonder if I could tell you what the spiciest quote was in general. It's probably the one about PJ trying to take other jobs.
That's definitely the spiciest one you read to us.
Yeah. I mean, the other stuff is I don't even care about some of the other stuff.
But I don't even know what you would say. Like, what's out there that
I don't know.
Unless somebody wanted to like take a shot at Greg Schiano or something.
I was interested in how people feel about like Purdue going forward. I think this is a big year for Purdue.
Yeah.
You're
going to be able to tell which way the wind
yes.
is going on that hire.
But that was kind of what the anonymous coaches said. They're like, yeah, this is kind of a big year. They got to figure that,
show some signs.
They got to really do something this year. Yeah. All right. That's the anonymous coaches. Welcome to the off season. How many days until football?
94.
Now, is that 94 until college football, or is it 94 until Husker football?
On Husker football.
So we're getting close to 80.
Yeah.
In just for college football. Here we go. All right. We will come back. Still wanting to get to Mitch Sherman will join us at the bottom of the hour. Don't forget the tweet bag is coming up. We'll check in on let's do this. We'll check in on a Husker who is spending his offseason in a unique manner, but a productive manner.
Love productivity.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgaard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
For the second year, the Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion has roared into our state, and the excitement is throttling up. Until June 24th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play and Double Play. Enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 Nebraska winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship weekend, plus a shot at $1 million. Enter today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half off deal are coupons valued at $50 on sale for just $25 to the Woodcliff restaurant at Woodcliff Lake in Fremont. It's perfect for a romantic dinner or to bring the whole family to enjoy a culinary treat for any special occasion. $50 on sale for just $25 to the Woodcliff restaurant at Woodcliff Lake in Fremont. This week's half off deal.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, thanks to now, do we think this guy's actually Dr. Tim Watley, like from Seinfeld?
No, I don't think it's.
I mean, what if he was
Heisenberg?
Yeah, you don't think it's Bryan Cranston?
I don't.
He's the dentist, right?
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, Dr. Tim Watley tweeted at us last night.
What's up, Doc?
Made sure we knew about this. It's a screenshot from a restaurant in Missouri Valley, Iowa. Just a few clicks up the way on I-29. I don't know why I said that.
How'd it feel?
Kind of good, actually.
Okay.
I don't know. Campo Azul Mexican restaurant in Missouri Valley. Campo Azul Mexican restaurant has a new record holder for most tacos eaten in one sitting. And that record holder is future Nebraska offensive lineman Grant Brix.
That's right.
And the picture is amazing. The picture is incredible. It is Grant Brix wearing a Hawaiian shirt with sunglasses on and a gigantic sombrero with a piece of notebook paper ripped out of a notepad that says, "I beat the taco record!" ! And it's the truth. So in the history of Campo Azul Mexican restaurant, Missouri Valley,
illustrious history.
Nobody has eaten more tacos than Grant Brix. 21 tacos.
You know, back in the glory days of Nebraska football, they'd take those old linemen to the beef table and just pump them full of steaks until they couldn't eat anymore.
I would like to live in a world where all the local restaurants, have eating challenges, and all Nebraska, like in Nebraska, the center has the record at the Mexican place. The right guard has the record at the sushi place. Mm-hmm. Most sushi restaurants really don't do eating challenges like that, but they should. I might participate, but I don't think I'd win. But I'd be interested to see how much sushi I could eat in one sitting. But I think this is a great sign. I think this is a great sign for Nebraska football circa, just in the Matt Rule era. You got guys out there winning taco eating challenges. Taco eating challenges that are in no way publicized. I think from what it seems like, I think Grant Brix just went in there and ate 21 tacos.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Hey, is that a record? And he was like, they were like, yeah, but you set the record the last time when you ate 17 tacos.
I don't think there's an actual challenge. I think the wait staff just looked at each other and go like, have you ever sold anyone 21 tacos? No. Oh, yep, that must be the record.
I'd like to know about the size of the tacos.
That was another question I had. I had a lot of logistical questions about this, actually.
So let me go to their.
I'm not accusing them of any shenanigans when I say this.
No, I just want to see it.
I just don't think that there's I'm questioning the record keeping system.
Gotcha. So there's a picture from 2 weeks ago on their Facebook page.
Oh.
So okay, this is a challenge.
Okay.
So from 2 weeks ago, it said congratulations to this guy named Matt who beat the taco eating record. Matt ate 20 tacos. Hashtag Taco Tuesday, hashtag all you can eat tacos.
Okay,
so
that's all
that's
you can eat
it.
thing going
There's
on.
all you can eat tacos, and every Tuesday, and this restaurant apparently has had multiple record holders. I wonder if there's a previous picture of Grant Brix breaking the taco record.
Oh, like if he got to 19 or something.
Yeah, it feels like this is a jostling, sort of a contest.
I have another question, and it's a visual question.
What does this place look like?
Well, no, as we have the photo up here on 1620, the Zone TV.
Yeah.
Grant Brix's smile.
Yeah, what do you think's going on there?
It's very big.
That looks like a guy who's just happy he ate 21 tacos.
He really does look pleased with himself.
The sunglasses, the giant sombrero, the whole thing. That guy walked over there from his house and was like, I would like to participate in I'd like to all you can eat tacos, please. And then he just said, keep them coming.
We're back, baby.
Just continuing to scroll through Campo Azul Mexican restaurant Facebook page. So we might have to get up here for Taco Tuesday. Josh.
I would love. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I would love nothing more.
Awesome. I mean, it's probably like what, 20 minutes away. We can get there 20 minutes from here.
Yeah, easy.
So big time. Congratulations to Grant Brix. I feel like Nebraska football is back. Especially, I mean, it makes it even better that it's in the state of Iowa too.
Mm-hmm.
Right, even though it's in the Omaha metro-ish area.
Walked in there and took a record.
Yeah.
Back to Nebraska.
Yeah, and who knows the allegiances of that guy Anthony who ate 20 tacos.
That's right. Do you think this will cause local restaurants to create challenges in hopes that popular Husker players come in and set a record?
I think that would be a consequence worth, making it for. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Whatever happened to eating challenges?
Well, I imagine the cost for the restaurant got too high, right?
I heard that Buffalo Wild Wings has brought back the unlimited wings, unlimited Wednesday or something, Tuesday or Wednesday. I was talking to the Peter man last week, and he was like, "Yeah, I went over to Buffalo Wild Wings, and he's basically Grant Brix in it." But he said he only had like 14 wings or something like that and ran out of gas.
Okay, this is from 9 days ago. Buffalo Wild Wings offering all-you-can-eat buffalo boneless wings and fries for $20.
Yeah, that was what Peterman said it was.
Yeah. Now you should be going to a more reputable wing restaurant like Cops or Oscar.
When I was in high school and I had just learned about the beauty of buffalo wings in general, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings was a lot cooler in 2007.
Absolutely.
We went to Buffalo Wild Wings. We'd all sit in there and it'd be unlimited Wednesday or whatever it was. I think it was $10 to $15. And I mean, one time a guy in our group ate 50 chicken wings.
Wow.
That'd cost you like $500 these days.
It would.
You get it for $10. Matt emails in.
Hi, Matt.
Challenges for the offensive linemen. So in Iowa, they have beef days, and I always get this wrong. Solon, Iowa. I believe it's Solon, Iowa.
Oh, I don't know.
Just outside of Iowa City. So all the farm boys go there, and the Iowa offensive line goes there, and they have to throw a bale of hay over a bar like high jump in track and field. The Iowa line is usually mostly farm boys, but often get beaten by the real bale throwers, the old bale throwers. It's an awesome event. Great show. I think Nebraska needs to steer more into their farmness. their farmitude.
Hell yes.
On Iowa's helmets, they have the ANF. America needs farmers. Like Nebraska needs to steer more into it, especially if their mascot's going to be the guy with the overalls and it's going to be Herbie with a corn. He's got a corn. The mascot has a corn cob in his back pocket.
Right there.
Nebraska offensive linemen need to be in hay bale throwing competitions, taco eating contests. They detasseling contests if that exists. They need to, they need to be like a traveling road show for state fairs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Grant Brix has started at something. Congratulations to Grant. We'll see how long that record stands, and maybe his teammates will want to challenge him. Because if you look at Grant, he's not the biggest. He doesn't weigh 350 pounds. He's a pretty fit guy. Maybe some of his sorry, Josh. So maybe some of his teammates will be like, "Hey, you're a little guy. I could go there and eat 30 tacos right now."
I personally would like to see the team embrace this and put up some sort of maybe a small plaque or a sign of some kind in the weight room that says, "Hey, Grant Brix ate 21 tacos."
Me too.
What are you doing?
Give him a championship belt, something like that. All right, Mitch Sherman is up next.
How many tacos can he eat?
Oh, we'll find out. We'll ask him right up front. How many tacos do you think you could eat just in one sitting? He'd probably be like, describe the taco to me, and I will. So that'll happen in just a couple minutes on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, we are drawing near the end of the NBA playoffs. But of course, it's not too late to get in on the action with our friends from the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. $150 to use on things like same-game parlays that'll be clutch for the NBA Finals. Live bets, also clutch for the NBA Finals. You can, throw in a championship future. Maybe you still like the Timberwolves to come back all the way back from the dead. Don't let us get hot. Don't let them win tonight, as the great Kevin Millar said. Maybe that'll be the case with the Timberwolves, or so much more available for you on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Looking right now at some baseball lines for today as well. Tariq Skubals on the mound. You know how much we love that, Josh. And looking ahead to Thursday's Game 5, the Timberwolves are 4.5-point favorites. Get in on the action. FanDuel.com/Happer. It's America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel.com/Happer. The FanDuel is, of course, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
You get a lot of junk in your inbox. This one, not junk at all. 1620 the email. Exclusive content, contests, other stuff probably. Subscribe today at 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A really nice Wednesday afternoon in store with temperatures getting up near 80 degrees. We'll have lots of sunshine and light winds as well. Tomorrow we'll start near the 60-degree mark, warming up throughout the day, but we're going to have chances of rain increasing the later you go through tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery. KETV Newswatch 7.
So, Isabella, you're in high school earning college credits?
Tuition-free college credits.
Tuition-free? Your mom's got a...
Love that.
Hey, Maya, hold up. You'll graduate from high school.
But my college gen ed's knocked out. Tuition-free.
That's got to save you and your parents thousands in college tuition. How about you, Ian?
I'll be debt-free thanks to MCC.
Earn college credits while still in high school. Tuition-free. Get started at mccneb.edu/tuition-free. Classes start June 5th.
This is me at MCC.
No better time than now to focus on your garden or landscape. Come shop Lanaha's Garden Center, filled with the area's best quality plants, flowers, and trees. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanaha Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
My taco pie is really something special, and it can't be imitated. It starts with my zesty taco sauce, seasoned beef, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, mounds of cheddar, and mozzarella cheese. This pie is the real deal. For a limited time, build your own feast with a specialty pizza, like my taco pie, a one-topping pizza, and cinnamon monkey bread. Do yourself a favor and order. Today, Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Who do you want to talk about first?
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
He can play. And we need people that can play.
And we'll never be royal. Let me live that fantasy.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic. On the Connor Happer Show. On 1620, The Zone.
He can play.
Okay, as we head over to the 42 Degrees Asaurus hotline, that is where we find our good friend Mitch Sherman of The Athletic joins us. Mitch, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm well, guys. How are you?
Good. Around this time, just a few days ago, Nebraska was winning a Big Ten baseball championship. Still in the morning, by the way.
It is still morning. And it was a fast game, so it almost ended in the morning.
It almost ended in the morning. I mean, your initial thought on how Nebraska baseball is set up for a postseason run here. I certainly like the energy that they have coming out of Omaha, run that I did not expect. I guess, what do you think about how it sets up for them this weekend?
Yeah, it's funny you should ask. I'm just putting together a story on The Athletic right now about, and maybe it doesn't matter, but the head coach was a part of it back in 1999, 2000, 2001. It looks very much like the formula that Nebraska used to get momentum from the conference tournament. And oddly, 3 of the 4 conference tournaments that Nebraska won around that time happened after the Huskers lost their opening game, and then twice came back and won 5. And then once in 99, the format was different. They won 3 games after losing their opener, but made the College World Series in 2005 after going 0-1 to sort of losing the first game and then winning 5 straight. And in 2000 did that and then made it to the final game of a super regional. So they and you know, it's not just history. It's a formula that they used to generate energy and momentum. And part of it, as Will Bolt noted, was just being on the field with each other for so much time at the conference tournament, and then getting players who don't usually step up to step up into big roles. And that's what we saw from certainly some of the pitchers in Omaha last week. Will Walsh, Jackson Brockett, you know, those guys had their moments during the season, but they hadn't done it on a stage like they did with the conference championship on the line. And then, you know, asking guys to go above and beyond, like we saw from Brett Sears, to come in and close the ninth, something he hadn't done all year to do it in the conference championship game in a 1-run game. That's the kind of stuff that happened for Nebraska back in the days at Bricktown Ballpark, and it produced great results in June. So we'll see if they can repeat that. And I think it's notable too that Bolt and then Rob Childers also are presiding over this one.
Hey, what are you saying? You're saying they check some of those boxes. I don't know. Like, are people? Should you be allowed to dream about advancing beyond this weekend if you're a Nebraska baseball fan?
I mean, you always can when you make a regional, and hey, especially if you're a 2 seed, that means that the committee thinks highly of you and your resume you've done well with your resume. Now, I mean, if you get sent to the number 1 overall seed or the number 2 overall seed, that's always going to be more difficult. And Nebraska's playing number 11 at number 11, Oklahoma State. Of course, there's a team that's in the way of Nebraska even potentially getting a crack at the Cowboys, and that is a powerhouse in the SEC and made it to the national championship game a year ago in Omaha, and that's Florida, but it's a different Florida team, and that's going to be quite a matchup. You have Nebraska's ace pitcher against Florida, which is kind of without an ace pitcher, but all of that experience and experience over the last few years for the Gators who are on that roster and are coming back, and then experience this year and just playing so many great teams. Florida played 15 games against the top 8 national seeds in the SEC, 5 series, and won 7 of those 15 games. So they've beaten a lot of good teams this year. Nebraska's and Brett Sears are absolutely not going to be some kind of a new challenge in front of Florida. If anything else, no knock on Nebraska, but playing Nebraska on a weekend to open a weekend in a pressure environment, is going to seem like a downgrade in competition when you've gone against Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia, the likes of those programs.
Yeah. Mitch Sherman of The Athletic with us here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. And we talked about this a little bit on our podcast, the Locked On Nebraska podcast this morning, but Ramir Johnson and Thomas Fedoni going to be big featured subjects in the next episode of Nebraska's docuseries that they're putting out right now. I mean, we just talked about the running back room briefly when we went through some of the things anonymous coaches had to say about Nebraska, and one of them mentioned how Nebraska's got a deep running back room. That is not necessarily how I would characterize it. How do we like even put expectations on? I mean, you could start with Ramir first and then kind of go to the room in general. It's just a position that I have such a difficult time getting a read on at the moment.
Yeah, it's deep in terms of numbers. Like, there's a lot of capable running backs there. There's just not any definition at this point. I mean, you categorize them as like Ramir Johnson and Gabe Ervin are coming off injuries. They were both hurt in the Northern Illinois game, so they've had a lot of time to recover. It'll be almost a year by the time Nebraska opens the season on August 31st. And Ramir's coming back from a shoulder. Gabe Ervin's coming back from a hip injury, which can be really bad for a running back who needs to go side to side and have lateral movement. And the fact that he's already had a knee injury in his career, it's a wait and see approach for sure. But those are the two most experienced guys, and the two that, if they're healthy, are going to be looked at to lead this group. And then there's Emmett Johnson, who stepped up at the end of last season and has remained healthy, and I think played the best through the spring. I think took a big step, I would say, Emmett Johnson did in the spring, because it was there for the taking, and I think he took it. And then the other two are just truly wild cards, and Dante Dowdell, the transfer from Oregon, who's got all kinds of credentials, and we saw him have a nice spring game, showed a burst of speed that maybe had been missing through the first 3 or 4 weeks of practice in March and April. And Quentin Ives is a guy that Nebraska's really high on, who redshirted last year, but they've just got to get him up to speed, continue to get him up to speed. I think he's more there now than he was in November with what he has to do in pass protection. Pass protection is such a huge part of what Marcus Satterfield wants his running backs to do. And Ramir Johnson is very good at it. Emmett Johnson is very good at it. Those guys right now are the two that I think they trust the most, outside of Gabe Ervin, who's still trying to get help.
There's a sense that regardless of who is in that room, that Nebraska will be able to run the ball because of their offensive line. It's another year of experience down the road. And then obviously, the help of their quarterback in the passing game, wide receivers factor that into that as well. Where are you at on that idea? Like how much does the running back in how much you can depend on that specific person play into your thought on Nebraska's ability to successfully run the ball in a conventional way this year?
Yeah, I don't think it's just a given. I do think the offensive line is a potential strength for this team, but until the offensive line goes out and starts opening holes and doing all kinds of stuff on their own in a normal offense, I think it was somewhat different last year to block for a running quarterback, and Nebraska did some things with its offense that were just hard to defend in the run game. And I think defenses gave Nebraska some things in the run game last year to take away the pass, and it worked because the Huskers didn't score a lot of points. They didn't score a lot of touchdowns. If you're running the ball between the 20s, but you can't get in the end zone and you're not consistently hitting field goals, then that's a win for the defense. This year with a more lethal passing game for sure, there will be an effort to make Nebraska one-dimensional from a defensive standpoint and shut down the run. And I wouldn't be shocked if a couple of weeks into the season, we're talking about what happened in Nebraska's running game. And that's not to say that they can't rebound or that will in fact happen. It just, as I forecast at the beginning of the year, I do think Nebraska is going to throw it. I think they're going to throw it with some success. We'll see if they can throw it in the red zone and they can get in the end zone. But it's not just going to be a walk in the park to have a multi-dimensional offense that can run it and throw it. They've got to prove that, I think, to everybody. And I wouldn't be surprised at all, just kind of the way that the ebb and flow of the evolution of their offense might go if they have some struggles out of the gate in generating a lot of yards on the ground.
So you are more confident in Nebraska's ability to pass and catch than their ability to run at this point?
Isn't that crazy? But I am, yeah, because they're not going to have a big threat, and they're not going to want to use the quarterback in a way that they can gain yards running the ball, and that was a huge part of the reason they had success last year running it. And then two, I think they're gonna lean on the pass. I mean, that's the strength. The wide receivers are a strength as long as they're healthy, and the tight ends are a strength. I think they can use the running backs, both Johnson, as pass catchers. But to just say we're going to line up and run the ball at you, I don't know if I see that with them. It's going to have to be something that's developed over the course of the season.
Mitch, before we let you go, how many tacos do you think you could eat in one sitting?
Probably not 21. Is that the number that Grant Brix?
It's Grant Brix is 21 tacos. Yes.
Yeah. May have to go visit that place in Missouri Valley.
Get a little story out of there.
Well, see what that's about. I mean, did we know how big these tacos were?
No, I was researching the tacos. I couldn't find a good picture of a real life taco from Campo Azul.
Okay, I need a live reaction from Kristen Coggin on this, Nebraska's director of performance nutrition. I'm guessing that was not in the meal plan that she sent home with him when these players go home for a couple weeks after finals. They take the finals on campus presumably, and then go home for a couple of weeks, and that's where we're at right now. And and when I got to sit down with Kristen a few weeks ago and write a story about her staff and her plan and how Nebraska is so focused on nutrition, it's such a big part of it. Like, they were making meal plans. She was having meetings with the players that day, like coming in and out of her office while we were talking, even to get their kind of, hey, go home and don't gain 20 pounds. Now, I mean, it's probably okay for Grant Brix because he's trying to gain weight, but they want him to put on weight in a certain way. And I'm thinking that 21 tacos in one sitting was not on her list, but he'll be okay for it.
Yeah, I guess so. He's still young. Figure it out from there. All right, Mitch. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Connor.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic, and also co-hosts a podcast with me, the Locked On Nebraska podcast, which is out for now every single day, every Monday to Friday,
every weekday.
You
could, if you liked this segment, Connor and Mitch,
yes,
talking about Nebraska football,
yes,
you could get that,
yes,
every weekday.
I like how he threw in the. I'm glad you. It's funny that you should ask that on the baseball thing. So yeah, he's writing a little story. Probably will be out today or tomorrow on Nebraska baseball and the boxes that they're checking compared to some of the teams, the great teams of the olden times. Josh,
yesteryear.
Yeah, feels like yesterday for me because I was growing up around that time and I was very excited about Nebraska baseball during that time. Turns out a lot of time has passed since. Tariq Skubal's already dealing. Oh. Actually, it's raining quite a lot.
And they're supposed to play 2 today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got some rain up there. And they're wearing their god-awful
the Motor City
Connect jerseys in Detroit. That's right. It is indeed a daytime. The sun is out, and that means Detroit Tigers baseball is on the air.
Have you seen the Toronto City Connect leaks?
No. Oh, no.
Yeah. We're going to do that story we do every time one of these drops.
Okay. I don't even want to see them until they come out. By the way, Mr. Rick tweets in on us at Happer Show.
Hello, Mr. Rick.
The Pete Davidson thing, we didn't get to this yesterday.
We did not.
So we should talk about Nebraska Nice and the status of Nebraska Nice.
We absolutely should.
At some point,
I have some things to say to the listening public.
We could even throw it in the odd news if you wanted it to, unless you're already booked up there.
I have 3. I'm trying to decide if this is better.
Okay. Well, maybe
we do it there because I don't know if we have another place for it.
Okay, work through it in the break. We'll be back and maybe we'll talk about that. Also, some other odd stories coming up on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Hello? Jan, it's Kay. Are you and Rich free for dinner tonight? I'm making pizza.
Sounds great. What time?
6 p.m.?
Sorry, can't do it. Wheel of Fortune is on and Rich won't miss it.
You're kidding.
Nope. He's seen every episode since 1975. He won't budge.
Listen, tell him if he comes, we'll buy him a bunch of Wheel of Fortune scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery.
Won't work. He has to see the show.
That's just it. Until July 30th, if Rich enters any non-winning $5 Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket online, he could win the ultimate fan trip to Los Angeles, including airfare and accommodations. He'll also win tickets to a live taping of Wheel of Fortune and get to spin the big wheel to win at least $2,000.
That might work. Could you do just one other thing?
Sure. What?
Could you write free spin and pepperoni on every other slice of pizza?
Why don't you just come at 7?
Wheel of Fortune top prize odds, 1 in 112,000.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and more. Plus, all our vehicles come with fair, transparent pricing and no dealer fees. So you only pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Get started at BaxterFord.com.
Summer is here, Father's Day is around the corner, and there is no better place to get dad outfitted than Lindley Clothing. Or yourself. Guys, Lindley Clothing has been outfitting us men for over 88 years. And now with summer here, shorts, polos, short sleeve shirts, golf attire, they've got it all at Lindley Clothing. They're a staple in Omaha. They could be a staple in your wardrobe with the top-notch brands from Jack Victor all the way to Peter Millar. Sportswear to tailored clothing, Lindley Clothing has you covered top to bottom. Shop now at their location, 132nd and West Dodge in the Linden Market. It's Lindley Clothing.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton, Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Is your concrete cracked or uneven? Hey everyone, Coach Greg McDermott here to explain why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. Many people think they need to replace broken concrete, but repairing it provides durable protection and comes at a fraction of the cost. Everlevel provides permanent repair solutions to fix your concrete and protect it against future damage. And it all comes with a long-term transferable warranty. They offer free inspections to walk you through the entire process. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make languages fun and engaging. You might even forget you're learning. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. Babbel teaches language skills you'll actually use, about travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers, you'll get pronunciation just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long. And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Get Babbel. It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The headlines remind us daily, the world is a dangerous place. The elites in charge say everything's fine, stop noticing. But you know better. And your gut knows that time is short to prepare for a world that is 4 missed meals away from chaos. My Patriot Supply has helped over 3 million families become more self-reliant and is the company Americans trust to prepare. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contain delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Secure at least 1 food kit for each family member. For a limited time, save $200, plus get free shipping on all their Ready Hour 3-month emergency food kits. You're not ready if it's not Ready Hour Foods. My Patriot Supply also has solar power generators, water filtration units, biomass stoves, heirloom seeds, and critical survival gear. Shop mypatriotsupply.com today. mypatriotsupply.com.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
There is a message on the scoreboard at Comerica Park in Detroit, home of Tariq Scooble's Detroit Tigers.
Very big scoreboard.
Very big scoreboard that says, there's lighting in the area. Please do not be out in your seats anymore. And the game continues to be played. Take that, NCAA. Wooden bats and rubber hats, Josh. It's working.
Just runners on the corners.
The
Tigers
game must go on.
They're trying to play 2 today, so they're not having these weather delays.
And Paul Skeens is pitching the second one.
That's right.
Also,
Livy Dunn is in Detroit.
It seems as if the embargo has been lifted on NCAA football, or I should say college football 25 video games.
Oh, yeah. A bunch of people are like, yeah, I played it.
So what happened last week was they had a bunch of people out to the EA headquarters and they played it and they took a bunch of pictures and they have very specific things that they can write about and say. And then they waited a week and then all those people got heckled in their DMs. Tell us or I'll kill you.
You didn't play it. You're just saying it just to make yourself sound cool.
And now there's a whole bunch of stories and videos and things about the experience that these people had. Here's one from we won't pour over this video game. Chris Vanini of The Athletic. He was one of the people. Just to get you a good sense on the things that are in the game. We saw the turnover chain at Oregon State, the waterfalls at Arkansas State. EA Sports showed how it motion captured players with the trophies, which included making wooden versions of trophies for virtual mocap players to hold. To simulate ripping through a sign, mocap players pushed through pool noodles. For Bevo, Ralphie, and the dog mascots, an EA staff member pretended to be an animal positioned around the mocap virtual players. What makes the game feel as real as anything is the sound. You really notice when the music kicks up in after the opening kickoff while Enter Sandman is not in the game. Zombie Nation, Sandstorm, Tsunami, and Mo Bamba are. That's right. Mo Bamba's in the game. We see the Army Corps of Cadets jump up and down for Tsunami before kickoff, something that TV broadcast rarely shows. Beaver Stadium plays Zombie Nation after Penn State touchdowns. Every school has unique fan chants as EA acquired thousands of assets from schools and in many cases had staff members replicate the Cheers 4 recording. The studio also recorded 41 real game crowds over the last 2 years from big to small programs. And yes, I saw sheet music for an instrumental version of Neck.
I saw sheet music. I love this.
This is the most hyped video game of all time, by far. And
you will not get this many details for GTA 6 or whatever it is coming out.
There's they've done it right. I mean, it really seems like they've done it right. So that's good. All right, Josh, what do we have today?
I have made the executive decision to lead with the Pete Davidson.
Here we go.
Story. We had this yesterday, didn't get to it, which it's fine. It happens. But many are sending this story to me. So it's good because I have things to say. Fans are coming to Pete Davidson's defense after he walked off stage Friday night at the Steelhouse in Omaha, Nebraska.
Who is it that hated this? Oh, you hate the Steelhouse. What's wrong with you, Josh?
It doesn't need to exist. There are many venues in this town already.
No, there's not.
Connor.
Josh, we need to be a big city, and big cities have many venues. That's just part of the thing. All right, we need a big we need more venues, and we need a streetcar.
Disagree on both fronts.
Less sinkholes.
Agree with that. They found one in Vegas, by the way. I sent it to you in your DMs.
I have
the SNL alum who was in the midst of his prehab tour abruptly exited his performance at Steelhouse in Omaha after audience members refused to be quiet. TikTok influencer Caitlin Stivers.
No idea.
Where the bleep did decorum go at events because he shouldn't have had to walk off stage? Because you guys don't understand that because you see crowd work on TikTok, you think every comedian needs to be heckled to the point they leave the stage with one joke left. Reportedly, Pete
Good
David.
take by that TikTok lady.
Yes, absolutely. Reportedly, people were chattering to Pete Davidson, their friends, everybody else during the show, and he repeatedly told them,
apparently he got progressively more angry as the set went on.
And then he got to the finale, so to speak, and he's like, guys, we're almost done. Can we just
I promise.
I promise we're almost done. Can we be quiet and let me deliver the big last joke, and then we can chat it up or whatever? And then nobody would shut up. So he said, fine, I'm leaving. Fine. And he walked off stage and the show was over.
Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with people? I'm on Pete Davidson's side. This is odd for me.
Shocking allies here.
Yeah.
People, you need to understand this. Listen, TikTok cam right here. You are not the main character on this planet, okay? I know in your little world, you're the main character and you think you're special because everyone's told you for your entire life that you're special and you're a unique little snowflake, but you're not. Sit down, shut up, enjoy the show, or sit your ass at home.
Or go to the Steelhouse.
Don't go to the Steelhouse.
Go to the Steelhouse. Jobin says, Steelhouse 100% needed. Des Moines has one similar in Waukee. Everyone has them now. Everyone has a Steelhouse, Josh.
What does that mean?
Everyone has a
Steelhouse.
Everyone has a Steelhouse.
What does that mean?
He's right. They all have the Steelhouse.
Is the waiting room not a Steelhouse? Is Baxter Arena
not
a
Steelhouse? The waiting room is just a bar. All right. That doesn't even count.
Is the Admiral or whatever it's called now?
The Sokol, the old Sokol.
It's Sokol. Call it Sokol, you idiots.
No, we just there's different sizes for different kinds of acts that come through. We need more comedy shows. You be a big city, you get more comedy shows here. And it's not that guy who looks like the guy from The Mask. Matt Rife.
Oh, he does look like the villain from The Mask.
He looks like The Mask.
Yeah, absolutely. Good take.
Stanley Yelnats. He looks like that guy.
Won't be seeing him anymore.
Did he get canceled?
I mean, we tried, but he's like, "Oh, you
damn it!
You can't cancel me. I suck." They just had Nikki Glazer here. Michael Severe went.
We got to get that Tony Hinchcliffe guy.
Oh yeah, that guy's great.
We got to get that guy.
I mean, my best personal friend is Frank Caliendo.
Maybe Tony Hinchcliffe will do a Steelhouse and everyone will shut up. Otherwise, he'll just roast them.
Yeah.
Just absolutely crush them.
Now, this TikToker is absolutely spot on about another thing. The only thing you ever see from a comedian's stand-up act before you actually go to the show is them interacting with the crowd.
Yes.
And so because you're so self-centered, the only thing you think the whole show is just him talking to you. No. Trust me, this is not Pete Davidson's first show. He'll tell you when the audience interaction
You're a human.
part begins.
You can tell when someone's trying to engage with you.
Yes.
It's not all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, this isn't just for comedy shows. This is for, like, I don't know,
movies,
other places. Yeah, movies. Put your phone away when you're at the movie.
Seriously, man, what happened to us? What happened?
We cannot sit and stare at one singular thing for 2 hours as a society anymore. We need to be staring at multiple things at the same time, or we need to be texting our friends. Like, we can't just sit and look at a stage or a screen for 2 hours anymore.
Or if
we're pathetic.
Or if you can't, just admit it to yourself and stay home and scroll on your phone all night. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I just don't go to the movies.
You don't.
I could, by the way, I could handle it. You know, I could do it. I'm happy to put my phone away for a few hours.
I think you're one of the few people that actually could.
But I am good. I'm not going to test it. I'm just going to stay at home. Number one, because I don't really care about movies. But if I was at a comedy show, I'd be very nice. Well, I mean, you know, when the time called for it. Just do what the chef says.
Do what the chef says.
Here's some fan comments. Good on Pete for disappointing the petulant audience that showed up like an attention-seeking 3-year-old demanding their presence noticed while the adults talk.
Oh, that's my best friend, whoever that is.
Wasn't the time, they wrote. Truly disappointing. Another wrote that Davidson was already coming to the end of his set by the time he left and was still being consistently heckled. One of the blank poopier things I personally heard was when Pete mentioned he had one more joke to deliver before sending us off. Yeah. At this point, some lady near my seats yelled, "Oh, you've got a joke?"
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Before adding, "Shame on Omaha for this one." Wow. This is bad. People aren't going to come here anymore if you show up to the Steelhouse and act like a train wreck.
Pete's going to tell his friends, "Hey, don't go to Omaha."
I need to talk to somebody who was in the audience that night.
Don't go to the Steelhouse.
Damn.
It's a crappy venue that doesn't need to exist, and also Omaha sucks.
It's not a crappy venue.
It's a beautiful venue.
Yes.
It just doesn't need to exist.
It sure does. Waukee has one.
Oh, well, if Waukee has one.
We have to be better than Des Moines. You don't feel some sort of pull to be better than Des Moines?
I feel just by, like, we don't have to do anything to be better than Des Moines. We are better than Des Moines.
But if Des Moines starts putting money into their stuff and they're trying to make a run at us, we have to back off, Des Moines. Stay away, Des Moines. If you don't feel...
Des Moines will never surpass us.
If you don't feel the natural pull to be better than Des Moines, you're not an Omaha.
Poll question up at Happer Show.
Yes.
Do you feel the natural pull to be better than Des Moines?
It is a natural, instinctive draw to be better than Des Moines. I go to Des Moines, I say, ugh, gross.
I agree with that.
You try to be like Omaha, you couldn't even dream of it.
Mm-hmm. Yet they are. Next, that's right. No. We're one story in. Kendrick Perkins has revealed his greatest regret as a media member. You ready for this?
Yeah. Well, is it? What's up with Kendrick?
Kendrick Perkins could have simply said he regrets voting for Rudy Gobert for this past season's Defensive Player of the Year award, or DPOY. Only that would not be his style. Rather, discussing Gobert's on-court struggles in the Western Conference Finals, Perkins called helping vote the French center to his 4th DPOY award, tying him with Ben Wallace and Dikembe Mutombo for the most in NBA history. The biggest regret in my media career is what he called it.
Wow.
Furthermore, Big Perk proceeded to state that he has decided to retire from voting on regular season awards going forward.
That's the headline I saw.
Yeah. I'm retiring from voting for individual awards because I have done a disservice in using my voting rights. Me voting this season for Gobert is an embarrassment for me for Defensive Player of the Year. He's the first player we see every single time in the postseason that becomes a defensive liability. Don't come giving me these analytics. Don't come giving me these plus-minus stats, because that's the most overrated stat in the NBA. He has tarnished the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Okay, well, I mean, I think he maybe went a little too far, but I respect the idea that he's giving up his vote because he feels like he made a mistake and gave it to the wrong person. I respect that. I wouldn't go that far. I would just say, I probably screwed up and I'll get it right next year.
Yeah.
But shout out to Big Perk.
Just do better. Finally, the hosts of an Australian radio show were left horrified after a woman called into their program.
Hello.
Claiming she fed her grandmother's ashes to her brother as a prank.
Oh.
The woman, known only as Cheyenne, made the macabre confession on Tuesday's episode of Fifi, Fev, and Nick.
Of course.
That's what we should call this show.
That's what our morning show on Sweet should be. And they only have 2 people, and it's not at all.
Those aren't their names, but that's what we're going to call them: Fifi, Fev, and Nick.
We need to rename Spicoli to Fifi.
I would vote yes.
Let's do it.
Put it in front of me. Saying she and her mom sampled her grandma's remains before later serving them to her unsuspecting sibling in a pasta sauce. Quote, so my nan passed away in August last year and got cremated. Obviously, my family and I were grieving, so I went over to mom's one night and thought to cheer her up a bit, let's just taste nan.
Oh, my.
After I did it once, I got mom to do it because I didn't want to be alone in doing it. And this is the part I've told nobody. We haven't lived with each other since we were like young kids, so I thought it would be funny to prank him, and I put some of the ashes in the pasta sauce.
Bad prank.
The Twisted Pasta maker did not disclose whether she told her brother about the sauce's secret ingredient, but has said she has since sampled the ashes again. She confessed she has a weird addiction to tasting the ashes.
Okay.
And believes eating them helps connect her to her grandmother.
We're getting close to something real bad.
Real bad.
Real
bad.
I mean, we're already actually probably past that line, but getting close to something like headline. I ate my grandma's ashes and liked it. See, that's a little scary.
I'm addicted to eating my grandma.
Sounds like one of those true life shows.
Absolutely.
That's not good. I don't like that story, Josh. I like the Pete Davidson one because I get to talk about how Des Moines sucks.
Des Moines does suck.
Pop off in the comments about Des Moines and how crappy it is.
Let's start a feud.
Yeah, let's do it.
With Des Moines.
I want to fight Des Moines. Seriously, they think they could be like Omaha.
They will.
They really
never.
think they can. They're like Des Moines is the Omaha of Iowa, but it sucks.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you, Des Moines. Not having it.
Imagine how many sinkholes have opened up in Des Moines over the last several weeks.
Oh, it's Sinkhole City, baby.
There's like crazy.
Their City Connect jersey would be a sinkhole.
All right, we'll be back. It's time for the tweet bag. Get in your tweets, thoughts, questions, concerns, hypotheticals. What would you eat? What would you not eat? Things of that nature. Send those in. We'll reach our arms in and see what comes out next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Hey, you hear that? That's the sound of loose change in your pocket reminding you to buy a 99-cent medium fountain drink from Casey's. So the next time you hear this, you already know where to go. 99-cent medium fountain drinks. It's not crazy. It's Casey's.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Lainey Wilson, now streaming on Hulu. The story you haven't heard.
I experienced a lot of heartache. I'm a tough woman, but it's not easy.
Lainey Wilson.
It's taken me a really long time to even get to this moment.
And the CMA Award for Entertainer of the Year goes to Lainey Wilson.
Hey y'all, it's Lainey. I cannot wait for you to see my special streaming on Hulu. This has been a wild ride, and you'll get to ride alongside me on this journey.
Lainey Wilson, Bell Bottom Country, now streaming only on Hulu.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
This is the Tweet Bag. You send your questions in and we answer them. Like no other radio segment ever. It's the Tweet Bag on the Connor Happer Show.
Yes, indeed. It's time for the Tweet Bag. Send us a tweet. You can send us a tweet in the form of a text, in the form of a comment on YouTube, in the form of a
email. Got a lot of those today.
In the form of an email as well. In the form, if you have my phone number, in the form of a text to me.
Whoa!
I just want to open up all lines of communication for the next 15 minutes.
Love that.
So let's before we rock out here.
Okay.
Star Wars Fiend
Hi, Star
YouTube
Wars
comments into the show. He says they're hosting Knot Fest this year. I'm talking about Slipknot, since Connor doesn't know what that is. So I can only badmouth them after they're hosting Knot Fest. He's talking about the city of Des Moines. You don't think I know what Slipknot is?
How could you not?
You know how old I am? You like
30 something.
Yes, I just turned 32, which means I was of the perfect age to listen to Slipknot.
Super angsty for no reason whatsoever.
In middle school.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of things. See, Star Wars Fiend comments back and he says, Connor, you never fail to impress me. I know about Slipknot. Also, an interesting comment from Doug on the YouTube. He says, I lived in Des Moines in the 90s where in the news stations were showing the weather or the news map. They would not show Omaha. They would show, like if they would zoom out to the Midwest, it would be Chicago, Des Moines, Kansas City, Denver.
Kansas City? But not Omaha?
Probably Minneapolis too. Yeah, because the point is here, and this is why we have the rivalry with Des Moines. The point is you can only do one or the other. If you're doing a map of the Midwest, it's really one of three.
Mm-hmm.
You either choose from west to east, Lincoln, Omaha, or Des Moines. If you do one of them, you can't do the other two. If you're zoomed out from like Colorado to Indiana, and then north to south too. So like you could do all the way down as far south as Kansas City or Oklahoma City, and then as far north as Minneapolis. You're obviously putting Denver on there. You're obviously putting Minneapolis on there. You're putting, if it goes as far east as Indianapolis, and then Chicago, and probably Kansas City or St. Louis. Kansas City or St. Louis, one or the other. And then there's a little space in the middle for one more. Is it Lincoln, Omaha, or Des Moines? And if it shows either Lincoln or Des Moines, I turn the channel because it's Omaha. Thank you.
Let me tell you.
It's my TED Talk.
Murph and Andy out in Des Moines, they do a sports radio show.
Yes.
Garbage.
Murph and Andy? How do you know Murph and Andy?
Could never. I just Googled a sports radio show in Des Moines.
I hate those guys.
Yeah. They suck.
I hate the guy who makes fun of Nebraska every year on his stupid television show. I hate that guy.
I mean, Murph and Andy in their picture here.
Isn't his name Poop or something like that?
Something stupid.
Yeah.
On the website, this guy's wearing a Brewers shirt. The other guy's wearing a Blues shirt. Get a local team.
Thank you. Not just a G League team. Give me a break, Des Moines. Get a life. Stop trying to be like us. All right, what do we got, Josh, today in the tweet bag?
I'm going to start in the email. This came to us Thursday, so it's been in the hopper for a while.
Whoa.
And Connor, it's a movie question, so I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
We might have to alter this because you've never seen movies.
Mm-hmm.
Rank the best set of movies per each sport. Does not have to be limited to the top 4 sports. Mine would be baseball, basketball, hockey, football. Curious why the most popular sport, football, does not have a good set of movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm taking the best movies from each of those categories, and then which of those is the best?
Yeah, like he ranked baseball movies as the best sports movies, followed by basketball movies.
Okay. I think baseball movies are the best.
Definitely.
I think baseball movies are the best. It taps into the nostalgia, usually, and the fact that we all kind of grew up with baseball. Football's either like tear jerkers or kind of stories about how cool people and their journeys and their. I don't know a good example of that. I'm just really generalizing a lot.
Varsity Blues, is that what you were talking about?
Basketball is it's not usually about the the pastime of it, the emotional piece of it. It's really you just use basketball as like a vehicle to give you a story about something else.
It's about the coach, or it's about a group of nobodies banding together to overtake the big city team.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with baseball. I'm going to go with baseball. I think baseball movies are generally, if you gave me like the top 5 baseball movies compared to top 5 football movies compared to top 5 basketball movies, I'd probably take the top 5 baseball movies.
There are not a lot of hockey movies, but I feel like when we decide as a society to do a hockey movie, we generally do it pretty well.
There's Goon,
Slapshot, Mighty Ducks, Miracle. What was it? Mystery Alaska.
Don't know about that.
With a young Russell Crowe.
Get to stay out of this one, Josh.
Thank you. Kip,
what up?
Tweets in. I don't know why he started the email this way, but I'm just reading it verbatim, guys, okay? Pull your pants down. A baseball take. I thought having the pant legs high on baseball pants was cool until I was 12. Now I'm a firm believer that they should be in long sleeve mode always. Thoughts?
No, I disagree with this. Now, I prefer the low pants look. But I think there is, it depends on the body type. It depends on what kind of player you are. Like, you can't be a speedy little left-handed slap hitter and wear your pants down at your ankles. Your pant leg, I should say.
You need stirrups.
Yeah, you're going to have to pull those socks up, and you're going to have to look like you are 12 years old. There's a time and a place for it.
CC Sabathia, I would not want to see in stirrups.
Although I will admit that it was pretty cool every once in a while when they would make Prince Fielder pull his pants up. That was kind of funny because they were really, really baggy.
They were.
And that was back in the day where they didn't make the special pants that are like football pants now that go above the knees. Quick take on those, Josh. Are you interested in the football, The football baseball pants?
I prefer baseball pants.
That would have been my dream.
Oh.
I would have worn high socks a lot more had I had the ability for the pants just to go to the top of the knees.
Oh, okay.
And then wear the leggings underneath.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's a lot cleaner look than having the weird, because the problem was the pants always fell down. The pant leg always fell down.
Right.
I didn't have the tools or the resources to keep the pant leg up during the game successfully most of the time. So you had to kind of adjust it at all times. I actually don't mind the above the pants look. I know that's like a baseball, it's like a baseball ick for some people, if you will. I'm kind of in on that. That might be a out of the box take for me, Mr. Old School Baseball Man. But
you definitely went a different way than I thought you would, which is appreciated from time to time.
Thank you.
Chris emails in.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys. My question is below. What advice would you give someone starting in radio, and how has the industry changed since you've started your career? What an intelligent question, Chris.
My advice is not that far off of just like general life advice. It would just be to I would say number one, don't have too specific of an idea of where, like, what you need to be doing in a certain amount of time.
That's a good one.
And then I always tell, when I speak to classes or anything like that, I say yes.
Yep.
Just
absolutely.
Just take every opportunity that's put in front of you and see what you like and what you're good at. And maybe you'll catch on somewhere. Maybe you'll make yourself valuable enough to where somebody keeps you on board.
So, quick story. One of my very first days in radio school at Iowa Western, that's what they call it, radio school. Neil Nelkin was brought in to talk to the children.
Hell yeah.
The youths.
Hell yeah.
And he told a story about, it was a hypothetical story, and he scared the hell out of me. He said, if you have two phones in your hand, one in your left hand, one in your right hand, work's calling you in the left hand and your wife is calling you in the right hand, you need to put your right hand down and answer the phone on your left hand. I'm like, this guy's a psychopath. Why would I not answer my wife's phone call? If she's calling me, she must need something. She's my wife. I love her. Why would I ever put the phone down? And
that's a great Neil story.
Now I would absolutely call my wife back after work called me. Yes, it makes total sense. But also, Neil dismounted that story by saying, oh, by the way, I've been divorced a couple of times.
That was one of the things, that was definitely one of the through lines of learning from people who were in the industry at the time when I was learning. It was like, hey, there's going to be a bunch of sacrifices that you have to make. It's weird because, like, I don't know, maybe my family views it this way. I don't necessarily view it that way. Like, I look at it as a privilege to, like, just be able to and I like it.
Yes.
The reason I do so much is because I like it.
Yes.
So I don't view it as like this sacrifice that I'm making. But it's probably, I mean, it's probably true. It hasn't had any negative effect on my life. It's had only positive effects on my life.
When I was coming up, in the biz, they would always be like, hey, Jimmy over here was supposed to board up the NASCAR race Saturday night, but it's Saturday night and he wants to go out. Would you, he wants to know if you'd do it. Hell yes, I'll do it. And here I am. And you don't see Jimmy anywhere. Well, not
that Jimmy.
Maybe the wrong fake name to use.
Yeah,
but
not that Jimmy.
Yeah.
How has it changed? I don't know. People probably don't listen much to AM radio anymore.
Imagine wanting to be a politician and remove AM radio from cars.
That would be stupid.
Providing an essential service to the masses.
That would be stupid. But I think our listeners have transitioned, migrated in some sort of way. I personally still love listening on the radio. It is my preferred method of getting the radio, or our content. I like listening live on the radio. I think you get the full picture, and it's as live as it gets. I really like that idea.
It's my honest to God, like, second favorite thing about traveling
listening to other sports radio stations.
Find me a local sports radio talk show right now.
It's definitely one of my favorite parts of going to New York. I need a rental car and I need to listen to WFAN immediately. The gorilla. You're worried about the gorilla? What is wrong with you people?
So passionate about something he cares nothing about.
He just learned about it 10 seconds ago. You want to talk to me about the gorilla?
I wish I could just reflexively have BS takes like that.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah,
Princess is the GOAT.
I just don't have it in me to care about things I don't care about.
I got a few from the text line if you want them.
Okay, sure.
Tweet bag. So when I want to get out of something, can I just say I'm going to Scofro this one instead of I'm going to punt on this one?
Yes,
I like that. That was from Jesse. We'll get to that story here in just a little bit.
Good one, Jesse.
Pedro.
Hi, Pedro.
I saw Pedro again at the Big Ten baseball tournament, and I met Mrs. Pedro.
Oh, Mrs. Pedro is an excellent baker.
Who introduced herself as Mrs. Pedro.
Sure. Great character name.
At the Big Ten baseball
I
tournament.
assume her real name is not Pedro.
Also, she mentioned how she's now spends most of her life trying to, because Pedro has us on in so many places in the house, and she's just trying to escape somehow, which I took that as a great compliment.
Thank you, Pedro.
Here is Pedro. Hi, guys. What is the toughest game you have ever played? We played hide and seek where we shot a BB gun at each other when we found each other. That was fun.
Wow. High stakes.
Oh, we used to play this game where, if we're talking about like stuff where you could get injured, what did they call it? Polish ping pong?
Yeah. Yep.
Where if you lose a point, you get the free shot at the bare back with the ping pong and the paddle.
Oh, we did bare chest.
You could do bare chest or you cover up the midsection or bare back. That one hurt too. That was painful for sure. That's the first one that came to my head based off of Pedro's example.
First one that came to my head, and it's complete opposite of what Pedro suggested. I have trouble playing hide and seek in my house with my child.
You mean you lose?
No, he loves it, but you just don't
want to.
I don't care enough to. It's difficult.
Well, the kids are so bad at it.
Yeah,
they're so bad. We're gonna find you every time.
I usually
you're behind the curtain. You're under the bed.
I usually just end up going into my bed and pulling the covers over my head and being, we'll see how long it takes him.
Naturally. Do you think Lisa Bluter will be the Indiana Fever head coach next season or sometime this season?
So who suggested that to us last week? Because
I feel like I said that.
I am not ruling that out at all.
Yeah.
She's gonna walk in there and go, oh, everybody here sucks. Everybody on this team sucks. We need a better coach. And they'll be like, oh, okay, Caitlin Clark.
But the league in general does not seem as if it's bending the knee to Caitlin Clark at the moment.
She would have more wins.
I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. You see, I kept seeing all the videos about how she was getting guarded like during free throws. It's amazing. They're doing everything they can to make this girl not play basketball well.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Even though she dropped 30 last night.
She did.
I don't know. That seems like sort of a stretch, but
it does seem like a stretch.
I definitely wouldn't rule it out.
Right.
They kind of stink. Now, I don't know anything about the WNBA, but it seems like they stink.
They have one win.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's not enough.
That's definitely bad. Doug emails in.
Hi, Doug.
Connor, what sport do you wish you knew more about? Soccer, rugby, tennis, NASCAR? Please do not. Oh, please do not say lacrosse. I think he meant, but he wrote, please do not sow lacrosse. Please do not say lacrosse. Tennis is a good one.
Yeah, you wish you knew more about tennis?
Like, what do you mean know more about? Like, learn how to play or knew the people? Or like what makes them good?
I just
soccer. I mean, soccer is an obvious one as soccer continues to, have increased popularity in the country. I wish I had a good sense of like the the British soccer pyramid, the English soccer pyramid.
Oh,
and
yeah.
what it takes to actually win championships and who's in what league and all that stuff. I mean, soccer's an easy one, I guess. So I guess that's my answer.
I've got a couple tweets over here.
Get them
if you're ready.
Yeah, let's hit them quick.
Star Wars Fiend.
Hey, Star Wars Fiend.
Connor and Josh, it's summer only. Baseball is left. Let's talk concerts. What was the last concert you attended or will be attending? Perhaps Not Fest, Rocklahoma, maybe one at the Astro Rolling.
The last concert I went to was Zach Bryan a few weeks ago. That was fine. I've now seen him 3 times inexplicably, and I saw he was bitching today on Twitter. I think I'm kind of over this guy, by the way.
Wow. That was quick.
So he was complaining on Twitter today that one of his songs was like not a. He says Pink Skies is not a pop song, but this song Pink Skies has now gone viral on TikTok for whatever reason. But if you go to a Zach Bryan concert, what will you see there? You will see 20-year-old girls.
Yeah. So he's
Like,
mad that the song is popular?
You're making pop music, man. I'm sorry to tell you, you're making pop music. Your fan base is 20-year-old girls. So there's not, unless you change, there's just like, you're not a country artist. I'm sorry.
They've taken you.
Yeah,
It's over.
It's too late.
You're done.
It's too late. That was the last concert I went to.
This might make my takes about the Steelhouse make sense. I don't remember the last concert I went to.
Sad.
I don't particularly enjoy them.
You have to get some concerts.
But who?
Well, who do you like?
I don't know. I'd go see Taylor Swift if I didn't have to.
Okay, that doesn't count. You can't do
$5,000.
You can't see Taylor Swift.
I can't see Taylor Swift.
No, you can't. I mean,
like I'm banned. I'm not allowed.
I mean, where's your $5,000?
I don't have $5,000.
Right. And where's your trip to Italy, wherever she's at right now? So you can't go.
I can't go. Not an option.
You could always go to like Styx and REO Speedwagon. They're here.
Always.
They're here every day.
And if I miss them, I'll catch them on the next one. I have always wanted to see the Foo Fighters.
Oh, good one. Great
live.
One.
They came through and I kind of did I'll get them on the I'll get them on the next time they're here, and they have not come back.
Good one. And
one of the members is no longer with us.
Yeah. It's sad. I did go to the Red Hot Chili Peps when they were. I've been to some good concerts. I've never considered myself a concert guy, but I've been to some good ones. The Jay-Z one where the lights went out.
I was there. I was at the Red Hot Chili Peppers one as well.
Billy Joel.
I saw Pearl Jam at the PBA.
Justin Timberlake was a memorable one of mine, and Kesha at the Stir Cove.
I was there.
That was awesome.
It was hot. It was like 110.
I think I won tickets. I answered a trivia question once on Twitter. This is probably like a decade ago now. Severe was giving away some tickets to the Stir Cove, and we ended up winning them. And then they were tickets to Bush.
Okay.
Glycerine. I won those
Seen
tickets
them many times.
Yeah, I got them. I got them from Severe when I was not working here, obviously. That was fun.
Yeah,
I don't think we stayed until Bush came on.
Working in radio,
you go to some stuff. You
gone to a number of concerts, and I don't really have a desire to do it anymore.
Come on, Josh. Music is good.
Music was good.
Is that a very rosy outlook? All right, any more before we get out of here?
I do have one from Sky. If there was a Jeopardy category called The Connor Happer Show, what would the $1,000 answer question be?
Oh man, I'm not quick enough to come up with a good response to that.
This serves as Connor Happer's favorite sandwich. What is chicken parm?
Chicken parm. This is the. Do we have like a catchphrase? Cold cuts and hot takes. Is that our catchphrase?
Cold cuts and hot takes. Yeah, because it'd have to be something obscure. Because 1,000 is
the
quote unquote most difficult first round question. Also, why are we not a second round Jeopardy category?
As the guys, the double Jeopardy.
Yeah.
As Josh and Connor prepare for the college football season, an annual award show is held in the neighborhood of August 16th.
That might be a good one for it. Yeah. What is the Chunkies?
What is
Ken?
the Chunkies? Thank you. You got 1,000. All right, that's Tweet Bag. Thanks for playing. We will come back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
I read a book about the idea of aliens being a thing. What is that, a new concept? Someone writing about aliens? No. It talked about if we're going to find aliens, how we hope to find them. Boy, that sounds like a really exciting book. It was a great book. I ripped right through it.
John, this is why you don't have fun. You don't allow yourself to wonder.
I wonder all the time. I wonder how I've made it this long being next to you two.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A really nice Wednesday afternoon in store with temperatures getting up near 80 degrees. We'll have lots of sunshine and light winds as well. Tomorrow we'll start near the 60-degree mark, warming up throughout the day, but we're going to have chances of rain increasing the later you go through tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery. KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620, The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. 2 locations in the old market right off of Jackson Street and also in Benson right next to Taste of New Orleans. You know, one of the toughest things about the summer is trying to figure out what you're going to do with the kids, right? You got to fill some time. It's a great time to go visit either one of the Ted and Wally's locations. Your kids are going to love getting some ice cream. You're going to love getting out of the house. It is a win-win for both of you. So whether you're going downtown and checking out the old market and getting you some ice cream or going to Benson and getting some Taste of New Orleans, stop by and tell them Severe sent you.
Experience personalized service and exceptional deals at Woodhouse Lincoln. With cutting-edge technology and incredible design, Woodhouse Lincoln is the place to find your next luxury vehicle. Going on now. Receive 2.9% APR for 72 months on the 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Or save up to $2,000 off MSRP with retail customer cash on the 2024 Lincoln Navigator. With approved credit, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires July 8, 2024. See dealer for details.
Lainey Wilson, now streaming on Hulu. The story you haven't heard.
I experienced a lot of heartache. I'm a tough woman, but it's not easy.
Lainey Wilson.
It's taken me a really long time to even get to this moment.
And the CMA award for Entertainer of the Year goes to Lainey Wilson.
Hey y'all, it's Lainey. I cannot wait for you to see my special streaming on Hulu. This has been a wild ride, and you'll get to ride alongside me on this journey.
Lainey Wilson, Bell Bottom Country, now streaming only on Hulu.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. With zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's a story from Saturday Down South. What happens on Saturdays Down South, Josh?
Football.
That's right. And saying it that way too.
Yeah, you got to say it that way. It's important. It's crucial.
Tailgating.
What'd the story say?
The story said this. USC wanted out of its week 1 showdown against LSU. The biggest game of opening weekend in college football almost never happened. USC, reportedly, tried for nearly 2 years to find a way out of the contract that had them playing LSU in Las Vegas this year because Trojans head coach Lincoln Riley didn't want to play. Multiple sources told Saturday Down South. Remember, we are in the midst of the SEC meetings right now. I wonder who wanted this word out there. Maybe LSU had a similar reaction to that of Oklahoma when Scofro tried to Scofro his way out of the Oklahoma game in 2021.
People forget.
As of late last fall, after Jen Cohen was hired away from Washington to be the new USC athletic director, the USC administration was still trying to get out of the game, including offering other opponents to LSU, sources said. At one point, Fox Sports got involved and tried to further the process. The network wasn't enamored with the idea of USC's first game as a Big Ten member being broadcast by rival ABC ESPN. Seems a little convenient. A source told Saturday Down South, quote, they weren't getting out of the game. LSU athletic director Scott Woodward said the Las Vegas Bowl executive director John Cicenti, both attending the annual SEC spring meetings here, declined to comment. On record, I'll add. Just how committed was Riley to getting out of the game? High-profile sports agent Trace Armstrong represents Riley and LSU coach Brian Kelly, and a source told Saturday Down South that Riley asked Armstrong for help in changing Kelly's mind. It did not work. So, and there's some more details like contractually about the game as you read through the rest of the story. But Josh, that's right. You heard it here first. Well, you heard it on Saturday Down South first, I suppose. USC tried to Scofro themselves out of the LSU game this year. Why they didn't want to play?
Yeah,
motivations are unclear.
I'm sure that's not the actual reason, but what a weak excuse.
I mean, it's not. It's not. That's maybe Fox's excuse to try and help them get out of the game, but it's not that is not the real reason they wanted to get out of it. It is probably because they're going into a conference this year that is going to be very difficult for them. It's difficult for anybody. And starting off this year, especially in game 1 of the post Caleb Williams era, playing a high caliber team. Now, the neutral site part, I mean, you would think that and there's some details here about the money that was involved, and USC definitely does have an unusually difficult schedule this year, considering it's their first year in the Big Ten and that they are going to play LSU in their first game. But this is just a good note to everybody going forward. Don't try to do this. It will get leaked.
It will get out.
People will find out, and you will come out looking really bad because of it.
Really bad.
That's pretty much the story here.
Okay, so the game is in Vegas. Okay.
Correct.
There's still going to be more LSU people there, right?
By a long shot.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
Oh, you mean we can tailgate in Vegas?
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, they're going to. One thing I've noticed about LSU fans is they're always LSU fans wherever they go, right? So maybe it's
a little Nebraska-ish in that way.
Maybe it's a night at the Met Gala, and LSU fans are invited for some reason.
Can I wear my purple hat?
Exactly. They're gonna find a nice breezy LSU button-down shirt with a big hat, and they're gonna say, "I'm here for the party. Where's I got shrimp if you need it."
This is a tough schedule.
It's a hard schedule, but don't try and do this. It's just Just a good lesson for everybody. Don't try to do this.
4 games against preseason top 13 teams. Obviously, that'll change by the time they play some of these teams.
Yeah, it's challenging.
You got your rival, UCLA.
You got Nebraska.
Who's back. At Washington. Wisconsin always
You got Nebraska.
seems to play everybody tough. Who's back? Nebraska.
You got Nebraska. Yeah. Johnny Mills in on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, John.
Lincoln Riley wanted to get USC out of the LSU game would seem to confirm that he left Oklahoma for the USC job because he's scared to coach against SEC teams. I forgot about that narrative.
Oh.
Great narrative reminder, John.
Wow, John, thank you.
Yes.
Audience is really chipping in today. I appreciate it.
Good job, audience. You're doing a great job today.
Great job every day, but really chipping in today.
Jeff says on the text line,
hi, Jeff.
That should tell you something about USC this year. I think they're going to take a large dip without Williams. And Doc says, in my opinion, Lincoln Riley is one of the biggest frauds in college football outside of Jimbo Fisher. The dude literally runs away from everything.
I mean, they went 8-5 with Caleb Williams. I understand they had defensive issues, but Caleb wasn't pulling them out of a lot of games. What's their win total?
Is a vast thought, like a thought range on USC. What do we think they are? What do we think they're going to be? Who do we think Lincoln Riley is? Like, what are they now as they go into the Big Ten? It is incredibly fascinating to me.
Everybody, listen up. This is important. FanDuel Sportsbook.
What do they have them at?
7.5. Even money for over. Under's minus 122, but
all right, so
we play to win here, right?
Can we find them 7 wins? LSU, just go with me one by one, Josh. LSU, you're saying no?
I'm saying no.
Utah State, yes?
Yes.
Michigan? That's a real narrative game, isn't it?
They're the same team right now, right? I'll go Michigan.
I would probably too.
It's at the Big House.
Wisconsin at home?
I'll give them that one for the sake of the argument.
Minnesota on the road?
That's a dub.
Penn State at home?
That's a loss.
At Maryland?
Win.
Rutgers?
Win.
At Washington?
Loss.
You sure?
No.
And Washington's in kind of a...
Washington, Michigan, USC, same team.
Yeah, reload, rebuild. I think Washington's a little further off than both of those, to be honest with you. Nebraska, UCLA, Notre Dame.
Nebraska and Notre Dame are losses. I got them at 6-6.
Okay. 6-6 or 7-5 or 8-4. Right in that range. Sounds like something that Josh is debating putting an investment into.
Little payback. I mean, minus 122, but like I said, we play to win.
Jeff says, I love Sam McEwen, but he thinks USC is going to be good, and I can't understand why.
Oh, that's right.
His reasoning was that without Caleb Williams sitting out there trying to win a Heisman, it diffuses the talent. Like, it makes you become better at other things.
Oh, which is more well-rounded.
Which is a thought process that I agree with. I don't know if it's true in the case of USC, because you still have to have good quarterback play. But I'm in on the notion that it's not automatic. Like, hey, they were only 8-4 with Caleb Williams last year. What are they going to be without him? Like, I don't follow that line of thing.
Okay.
So I think it could go kind of either way for him this year. They're a big question mark team. And one more text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
The Zone should give away a trip to Vegas for the USC LSU game. You guys just want to go to Vegas all the time now.
The Sco-Fro Classic.
The Sco-Fro annual. They should invite him. Him and Joe Castiglione and Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly could all hang out.
Has LSU's AD commented on these? I guess their allegations.
I haven't seen anything public yet.
Because those were hilarious press releases from Oklahoma.
Joe Castiglione was triggered. He was also triggered later that year because they desperately didn't want to play that game at 11 o'clock. They were pissed because it was their best home game of the year by far.
They didn't.
And they're like, we cannot do this.
Yeah, right.
And so then it felt like, okay, now your guys trying to swing your weight around. What's going on?
What are we doing here?
All right, quick timeout. Let's get into a little bit of a heavier topic, I suppose. Major League Baseball changing its record books, adding some things from the past. I have thoughts. We'll get to them when we come back on 1620 The Zone.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Summer is here, Father's Day is around the corner, and there is no better place to get dad outfitted than Lindley Clothing. Or yourself. Guys, Lindley Clothing has been outfitting us men for over 88 years. And now with summer here, shorts, polos, short sleeve shirts, golf attire, they've got it all at Lindley Clothing. They are a staple in Omaha. They could be a staple in your wardrobe with the top-notch brands from Jack Victor all the way to Peter Millar. Sportswear to tailored clothing, Lindley Clothing has you covered top to bottom. Shop now at their location, 132nd and West Dodge in the Linden Market. It's Lindley Clothing.
Success in today's electrical market requires your company to be able to adjust to an ever-changing field. A partnership with IBEW Local 22 gives you that flexibility with access to journeymen, apprentices, proven training programs, marketing assistants, entry into markets not available before, ability to expand and contract with changing market conditions, and a benefits package for you and your employees. Contact Bob at IBEW Local 22 for additional details at 402-980-7596.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, planning a trip to a state park? One of Nebraska's 76 state park lands? Excellent. But don't forget your state park permit, money for camping fees and other activities, a fishing permit if you want to wet a line, and oh yeah, a 6-foot leash for Scruffy, your pet. Thank you, and we hope to see you out there. By the way, you can get all kinds of information on the Nebraska State Park lands through the Game and Parks website. That web address is outdoornebraska.gov. Are you going fishing? I thought so. For proper catch and release fishing this season to ensure fish survival, I want you to remember these important things. Land the fish as quickly as possible. Handle the fish as little as possible. Keep the fish in the water as much as possible. And release the fish as fast as possible. Enjoy your fishing experience, and we'll see you out there. I'm Greg Wagner with Nebraska Game and Parks.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Major League Baseball made an interesting announcement yesterday. And if you pull up, if you're a regular visitor to Baseball Reference.
Why would you not be?
Seriously, I mean, I'm just a weirdo, obviously. But
it's a great website.
But if you go to the all-time Major League leaders in areas like, for example, batting average, you'll find a new person at the top. That's Josh Gibson, who hit 372 in his verified Major League career. Major League Baseball's announcement yesterday, Josh Gibson holds several all-time individual records now, including all-time batting average, where he surpasses Ty Cobb. Also, there's a new 2nd place, 4th place, 5th place, and 7th place in all-time batting average on the all-time list.
Yeah, not just bringing in one guy who's very good.
And that, by the way, almost pushes Ted Williams outside of the top 10. How could we do such a thing? Josh Gibson also number 1 in career slugging. Josh Gibson number 1 in career OPS. And career on base percentage, Josh Gibson is now number 3. And several other Negro Leaguers crack the top 10. So they made an announcement yesterday that the statistics of more than 2,300 Negro Leagues players launched today in Baseball Reference, all-time leaderboards, whatever. I mean, it doesn't have to be Baseball Reference. It's just the official verified Major League Baseball stats in a newly integrated MLB.com database that presents records from seven different Negro Leagues from 1920 to 1948, along with long-standing American League and National League records. There's a lot here. All right. There's a lot here. So once again, the Negro Leagues were comprised of 7 different leagues, 7 different Negro Leagues. The Negro National League, the Eastern Colored League, the American Negro League, the East-West League, the Negro Southern League, and the Negro National League Round 2, and the Negro American League. These are all being, I shouldn't say all, because only some of the box scores from these games are verified.
Only like 75% have been verified. So there's still 25% that are out there or disputed, or there was never a box score taken.
Right. So things such as Josh Gibson had a legendary game in the Negro Leagues where he hit 4 home runs. That box score has not been verified. The baseball has said, we can't go off of anecdotal evidence of just stories or whatever it might be. We have to actually have official verified box scores. This has been a project just trying to verify these statistics for a long time. But just now, Major League Baseball has announced that they're putting them mixed in with stats from the Major League, the American League and the National League during that time as well. Remember, of course, it feels like this probably goes without saying, but those Negro Leagues were formed because black players were not allowed to play in the National and American Leagues. All right, so there's a lot to this. And so here's my first sort of thought. I absolutely love the idea of recognizing these statistics as part of the game's history. I think the Negro Leagues tell a very important story of the history of the game, an important part of the story of the history of baseball. I do think, however, part of that story, and this sounds probably crazy just to say out loud, I do think part of that story is the fact that it was separate and that it was different. We can say that Josh Gibson was one of the greatest players of all time without kind of trying to force this. We know that Josh Gibson existed, right? We have the statistics to back it up, and he hit 1,000, home run like that. These are the type of stories that you hear with guys like this during that time. I think that's actually leads to some of the fun conversations we have involving Negro League players. They surround this question of what if.
What if Satchel Paige got a full career in the bigs?
Right. What if Josh Gibson was allowed to play in what we refer to as Major League Baseball during that time? He could have hit 1,000 home runs. That's what I hear Bob Kendrick say all the time. So if you ever get a chance, Bob Kendrick will go. He's the director of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City. First of all, if you ever get a chance to go
again.
It's really fantastic. But
he's done a great job, and the several of the board members there were on the panel that worked to integrate this, as well as CC Sabathia, who's come up twice on this show today.
He's around. Bob Kendrick is around the Royals broadcast a lot, and they have him on during the Negro Leagues Day at the K every year, where they wear the Kansas City Monarchs jerseys and they do the throwback and all that stuff. It's awesome to hear stories from him. Like he's got endless amounts of them. He's a great source of knowledge for all this stuff. I'll listen to him 24/7 talking about how incredible those dudes were and how they probably and absolutely would have dominated in the major leagues during that time.
There's a reason they were kept out.
He's probably right. Now, I want to say this too. Major League Baseball, I feel like this is an important note. Major League Baseball officially recognized the Negro Leagues as major leagues. When did they do this, Josh? in 2020.
Okay, so
in December of 2020.
I saw this story in the news this week that this was coming, and I said, wait a minute, didn't we already do this?
But they haven't had enough verified information to integrate the stats. They've just recognized it, which set the road forth for what you saw yesterday. And keep in mind what was going on in our country in 2020. Kind of a lot.
Quite actually very little.
Well, but in some places kind of a lot. And it was a very, let's just say it was a very interesting year for race relations in our country.
Sure was.
And that was even mentioned when Major League Baseball said that they were doing this as a an ongoing effort to continue to bond together black and white history, whatever the wording for that is. It was recognized, hey, we're doing this basically in light of recent events.
Sure.
Which is fine, but I do think it's complicated.
However we had to get here.
I do think it's complicated. I also think at the end of the day, I would like the record book. Let's say this first, and I don't mean this in a joking way whatsoever, as I did when we did when we did a segment like this a long time ago. I'm definitely not mad at all. Like I'm definitely not mad at all. Hear me out.
Long overdue.
Hear me out. I think at the end of the day, I want the record book to tell the truth. And the truth is that America was a very different place from 1920 to 1948. Sadly. It was. And so, I mean, much like I want the Hall of Fame to tell the truth about how baseball was kind of a dirty, disgusting place in the late 90s and early 2000s. I like baseball because of its ties to, what was going on in the country. It's a mirror for a lot of that stuff, how there's holes in guys' stats because of various wars, and things like that. Like I've always appreciated that, and I've appreciated the oddities of that. And I think the Negro Leagues is kind of it's a part of baseball's history. But when you include that compared to the National and American League at the time, I mean, I feel as like this probably doesn't need to be said, but it was not in the National or American League. So those players did not play with each other mostly. And we're also talking about, statistics that are now verified, but only verified to a certain extent, right? The bookkeeping was not necessarily great. It probably wasn't for the American and National Leagues either. So the two, like I said, the thoughts are sort of complicated, but the too long didn't read or listen version is, it's not really a big deal. I'm obviously not mad, but I do wonder about some of the motivations of Major League Baseball and how sincere their adaptation of the Negro Leagues actually are. And I guess that's where I come off on it.
Sadly, I agree with you. By the way, in 3 weeks, MLB is playing a game between, I believe, the Cardinals and the Giants at Rickwood Field.
That is right.
As a tribute to the Negro Leagues, which is, again, that's cool. That's great. Educate people about the game however you have to, but we kind of see what's happening here.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's,
again, I don't care how we get to this point, but
it's so odd to, one day you'll teach your kid and I'll teach my kid and we'll all teach all of our kids how crazy, and just as we learned as we were growing up, how ridiculously crazy it sounds that black and white people were not able to play baseball with each other. Right. And I think that's part of, like, I don't want to say the charm, because that's not what I'm trying to say, but like, it's definitely part of the story. It's part of the story of our country. We can't erase it. We do this a lot. We try to do this a lot.
Yes.
But I just, it's, I don't know. I prefer to tell the truth.
Yeah. And, when people are looking up, as children tend to do, I don't know, I assume you did this too. Oh, baseball's great. Let me look up anything about baseball.
Yes.
Who's this Josh Gibson I keep seeing at the top of this list? Let me read about him.
Yeah, I thought I was the coolest guy in the world because I would correct people when they would tell me that Babe Ruth had the most home runs ever. I would say, actually, no. Have you ever heard of a guy named Hank Aaron?
That's right.
Yeah.
He got 5 more home runs today.
Yeah, that's right.
762 behind Barry Bonds.
So I don't know. It's super complicated, and there's obviously a lot to it. But if you look at some of the pages right now, these statistics are I mean they're mind blowing. That's definitely for sure. And there's
also the most hilarious way for Ty Cobb to lose his batting average record.
Now, what was wrong with Ty Cobb, Josh? Tell us
everything.
Ty Cobb have some takes about some things.
He had a lot of takes.
So there was like you said a whole committee on this, and let me make sure I get the name right before I say it out loud. John Thorne, who's Major League Baseball's official historian.
Oh, what a cool job.
Yeah, that is an insane job. He said, as you mentioned, Josh, with the Cardinals and the Giants playing a game at Rickwood Field in Birmingham next month, the timing was right to release the committee's findings. Thorne estimated that about 75% of all Negro League box scores have been documented, and that MLB would update the records as more are uncovered. He mentioned that Major League Baseball noted in a release announcing change naturally led to some leaderboard extremes, but the league verified a 60-game season during the COVID pandemic, and with that as a recent precedent, Thorne said it made sense to also verify Negro League seasons.
Okay.
So you led the league in batting average in 2020, even though you had a much, much smaller sample size than normal, you still get credited with one of the best seasons of all time. Thorne acknowledged that they were arduous negotiations, and part of the difficulty was not financial, that there was almost to one side, and agreed upon. It was how the stats would be used and what level of involvement seam heads might have on a continuing basis. It took a long time to get an agreement, but once we got an agreement, we brought in RetroSheet as an additional statistical partner. And of course, we had Elias Sports Bureau already on board already as one of our official statisticians, the ones responsible for auditing the data. So all the stuff that they have that is verified that's in there now is stood behind by Major League Baseball. It is official and it is verified. That's not obviously the part of the story. I don't think that's like significant to people. And then there was the checking and this has been basically what I'm saying is this has been a very, very long process.
Sounds like
a very long process for Major League Baseball.
They took the care that it required.
Quick phone call here from Rick on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Hey, Rick, you still with us?
It's Randy, but that's okay.
Sorry.
Hey, Randy, sorry.
I point the thumb.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I was reading this the other day, too, and I thought the same thing. It's like, it just really doesn't make sense because they didn't play the same players. They weren't facing the same competition. But then as you think about it more, it's like, well, it's just the Major League players didn't get to see Satchel Paige in his prime, just like the other folks didn't get to see, the best Major League pitchers at the time. So it's just, probably the top 25% of both leagues, would probably have, been in whatever a combined league was. There was no Dominicans. There was no representation from that area at that point yet. So, it was those two groups were the only groups really playing in the majors at that time. So, yeah, it'll look weird. I says, might as well put Pete Rose's numbers back in there too, right? While you're at it.
Hey, he still gets to stay on the leaderboard. He just doesn't get to go in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, then we could take out the juicer boys too. So I mean, the numbers are skewed for all sorts of things over the years. So yeah, it's a point of conversation, I guess, more than anything else. Yeah, that. Yeah. So this is Ted Williams does not have the highest season average ever anymore.
That is, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's like, whatever. It's like, it's like, it is what it is. It's just he can turn over at his cryogenic grave or whatever, wherever he's at. Maybe his kids can go turn him over. I don't know. But
it's still floating out there somewhere, I think. Yeah. Hey, Randy, thanks for the call, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. So like the thing that I thought the thing that was most interesting was once again what we mentioned right at the top, which was that Major League Baseball paved the way for something like this to happen when they officially recognized the Negro Leagues as major leagues. Mm-hmm. That was my first question at first. Like, what? Because people make the comparison to like, hey, should we put like CFL stats or UFL stats in the NFL stats category?
It's the same thing. Right?
What does the NFL think of those leagues? And then you get to you get your answer to the question. Major League Baseball declared 4 years ago that the Negro Leagues were going to be recognized as major leagues, and so that paved the way for something like this to happen. And like I said, the original piece of that, I don't know why that came up other than Major League Baseball saying, well, we're going to make a real true concerted effort to recognize this at a time in which the country is recognizing this in a lot of different areas. It's intriguing to me. I'm not bothered by the records at all. In fact, I look at the record book, and if I see Tris Speaker, whatever, I just skip by it. I skip by all the old people anyway. I skip by everything basically until Jackie Robinson was allowed to play.
Yeah,
that's basically when baseball history starts for me. If anything happened before 1950, I'm pretty much out.
Right.
Because I feel like it doesn't matter to me anyway.
Guys were out because of the war.
They wouldn't let black people play.
It wasn't integrated.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't matter. This is not a real representation. And so now we have this gigantic change in the stat book because of all that. It's intriguing for sure.
Throw Tungsten Armo Doyle out of the record book.
That's right. I don't even know if he was very good, but he has a great name. That's for sure. All right. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Host is roasting every morning.
Host Coffee Services stands as the vibrant heart of every break room, offering the unique fusion of traditional quality and modern flair. We're not just your coffee provider, we're the center of memorable workplace moments. Call us today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee Services is always roasting something good for you.
Guys, let's have a conversation. Let's say you've been losing interest in your spouse. You got low libido. You can't focus on things. And you're wondering, what is going on? It may be low testosterone. Mentality is here for you. With their FDA-approved testosterone treatment, the board-certified physicians who work with most insurance companies, they can diagnose the symptoms of low testosterone and take care of it. Schedule an appointment today. Go to the website, lowtusa.com. Take back your life, man. Mentality, lowtusa.com.
Email unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
For the second year, the Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion has roared into our state, and the excitement is throttling up. Until June 24th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play and Double Play. Enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 Nebraska winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Weekend, plus a shot at $1 million. Enter today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, welcome back. We're the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. The topic of this NCAA football, the college football video game, I always feel weird talking about it. Like, how in depth do we go about this? I realize everybody, or I shouldn't say everybody, people are excited for it, but like, how much do you want us to talk about it on a daily basis? Because we got a lot more new information today from a bunch of basically content creators / a few journalists who played the game last week, and they have now put out their thoughts because the embargo has been lifted. But I also feel very weird talking about it because it's a friggin' video game.
I mean, it must be good for like clicks and things like that because a lot of people cover it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if we put out, let's do the test run then. If we put out a segment that said the latest on the college football video game, how do you think that'd do?
How would it do? Would it do good for our clickies?
Because Josh is addicted to the click.
And I need the clicks.
He is so locked in on the clicks.
Give me them clickies.
So you want us to do the segment then? About
I
the
would like to try
video
it.
game.
While I'm not as excited as everyone else, I understand that many are excited.
You're not even excited and you still want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to play this and I am excited, but I'm also at the point in my life where I can just wait. I don't know what happens at some point. Like you can't like, I'm excited for the video game to come out, but I'm also like, this will be good. I don't really need to know everything about the game before it gets here. I'm ready for it to surprise me. What does it have? What does it not have?
No, you're in the vast minority on that.
I would think so.
Everybody wants to know every detail, every pixel about this game.
I don't know, but do they? Because they all clamor for it. They're like, is the tunnel walk in there? How does the transfer portal work? How do you export, or how do you what are some other things that they talk about? Dynasty mode and recruiting, things like that. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't.
No?
Maybe we shouldn't talk about it. EA's approach to NIL. Do you care about how EA Sports cares about NIL? I don't. I really don't. Okay. I've actually convinced myself the other way.
Okay.
We're not talking about it.
Not talking about it today. We're not.
We're not talking about this today until maybe there's something like Nebraska related on or something like that.
Wait until June when he's got nothing else to talk about, fellas.
Just wait me out. Wait me out. No doubt about it.
Just like he's waiting for the game, you're waiting for the conversation to come.
Here's Texas A&M Athletic Director Trev Alberts.
Trevor Alberts.
At the SEC spring meetings yesterday. Quote, "We've just always had enough increasing revenue to overcome dumb expenses. I've said it 100 times and I'll say it again. We don't have a revenue problem in college athletics. We have an expense problem." I saw people, in fact, you know what? I'll just read a few responses to that tweet. That was from Brandon Marcello.
No, who are the responses from?
Oh, they're just from people.
Just okay. Burn in hell. Take your name off the stadium.
One says the guy who wanted to spend $450 million on a stadium renovation at Nebraska. Says the guy who cost Nebraska $7 million by firing Scott Frost a week too soon.
All right, these are fair critiques.
Does he include his own compensation package as part of this expense problem? Trev is a clown. Is that why NU's AD scaled back the stadium renovation project Trev spearheaded in Lincoln? And things like that.
Okay.
You say fair, I say unfair on the stadium. Here's why. Now, the firing Scott Frost a week early is a little questionable.
Boy, it seems like you could have just waited a week.
In hindsight, yeah. And let me explain why. So Trev's not talking about, he's not talking about building a stadium. What is the wording that he used? It is dumb expenses. What he's saying is things that don't work for you, things that don't make money for you. He's talking about stuff that works for you. He's talking about dumb expenses being dead money. Dead money. So let me give you some examples. People who work in athletic departments who have had jobs out of the fact that they've always had jobs. Something that's happening a lot at Texas A&M. I think Trev found when he got there. And then he fired like 20 people, like immediately. You know? He's talking about hiring bad coaches and having to fire them and pay them buyouts. Now, to give Trev a little bit of grace on Frost, he didn't hire him and wouldn't have. Trev would not have hired Scott Frost.
Right.
He was just doing what he thought was best at the time with what he had. He's talking about money that doesn't work for you. In his mind, the stadium project was going to be money that works for you. It was going to be a $450 million plus investment that was a long-term investment and earn that money back over time by reinvesting into your fan base and by reinvesting into the amenities of the stadium and creating new revenue avenues in the stadium. Right? All of which I agree with. Like, I hate to say this, but like Trev has been right about a lot of things. I mean, he really has. And I wholeheartedly agree with him on this one. And one of his things that he has the ability to do is walk into a place, and while it is indeed cutthroat and maybe lacks some sort of personal touch and connection, at least right away, he's not afraid to run the athletic department his way. And I think one thing that he has a really good handle on is how to be fiscally responsible, which I know people are going to throw it back in your face and you say, well, is a $450 million South Stadium project fiscally responsible? And my answer is yes, because it's money that works for you. It's money that works for you.
It makes money for you.
It makes money for you.
Your money makes money.
And it's investing in the fan base, and it's investing in the people and in the programs. That's what it is. It's not a dumb investment either.
No.
Like it's an investment that is forward thinking, that looks to the future and protects Nebraska fans for a long time. Not from everything. There's going to be stuff that comes up in the meantime. And yeah, you'll have to dive into those coffers at some point. But I mean, to get back to the whole stadium thing, I know we spent a lot of time on it last week. You know, if $20 million or 20% of whatever you get every year is going to go to student athletes, then, then everybody's going to have that same expense. You know, everyone's going to have that same expense. And so that money's working for you, but it's already accounted for. It's already earmarked. You still have a lot of money that you could play with. And there's ideas where I think you have to be creative. I think Mr. Yogurt's idea is, and not that it's bad, and I think it might actually work for Nebraska in this moment. Mr. Yogurt's idea is to be a servant to coaches. What do you need? What do you want? What do you think you need? Trev's idea of leadership in the department was, I have a good grasp on this. I know what you want, and let's work together to figure out a good plan. I don't know which way is better.
Right.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. Mr. Yogurt says,
Yeah.
how can I help you win games?
Yes.
Winning games will attract fans and dollars, and we'll make money that way.
Mr. Trevor basically is flipping it over the opposite way. All right, quick timeout. We'll come back. We're up next on 1620 The Zone.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
This is something that I've been very cognizant of living in Omaha, because I think Nebraska athletics, whether it be trying to gain new ticket holders, new donors, new interest, yes, winning matters, is they need to be better in this town, like more visible.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A really nice Wednesday afternoon in store with temperatures getting up near 80 degrees. We'll have lots of sunshine and light winds as well. Tomorrow we'll start near the 60-degree mark, warming up throughout the day, but we're going to have chances of rain increasing the later you go through tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery. KETV News Watch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Experience personalized service and exceptional deals at Woodhouse Lincoln. With cutting-edge technology and incredible design, Woodhouse Lincoln is the place to find your next luxury vehicle. Going on now. Receive 2.9% APR for 72 months on the 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Or save up to $2,000 off MSRP with retail customer cash on the 2024 Lincoln Navigator. With approved credit, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires July 8, 2024. See dealer for details.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's Premium Ice Cream. Now that we got through the spring and we're in the summer, what's better for summer than ice cream? I always say, get yourself a bucket load. Now I know they don't sell it by the bucket at Ted and Wally's, but they do sell it by the pint. They do sell it by the half gallon. All you got to do is call ahead to get yours reserved today. And so many flavors. Go on social media, whether it's Facebook or on Twitter, and they have a list of the day's ice creams for both locations. That's in the old market, of course, and in Benson. Swing by there, get yourself some great ice cream this summer, and tell them Severe sent you.
How powerful is Cox Fiber? Powerful enough to let your band members in Vegas, Phoenix, and Omaha jam like you're all in the same garage. Introducing Cox Fiber from the company with the fastest download speeds 9 years in a row. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, always building better. Limited availability in select areas. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence in Las Vegas, Omaha, Phoenix. Fixed median download speeds Q2 2016 to Q1 2024.
Success in today's electrical market requires your company to be able to adjust to an ever-changing field. A partnership with IBEW Local 22 gives you that flexibility with access to journeymen, apprentices, proven training programs, marketing assistance, entry into markets not available before, ability to expand and contract with changing market conditions, and a benefits package for you and your employees. Contact Bob at IBEW Local 22 for additional details at 402-980-7596.
For the second year, the Nebraska Lottery's NASCAR Powerball Playoff promotion has roared into our state, and the excitement is throttling up. Until June 24th, buy a Powerball ticket with Power Play and Double Play. Enter the voucher number, and you could be one of 15 Nebraska winners of $1,000 and the chance to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Weekend, plus a shot at $1 million. Enter today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Lainey Wilson, now streaming on Hulu. The story you haven't heard.
I experienced a lot of heartache. I'm a tough woman, but it's not easy.
Lainey Wilson.
It's taken me a really long time to even get to this moment.
And the CMA award for Entertainer of the Year
goes to
Lainey Wilson.
Hey y'all, it's Lainey. I cannot wait for you to see my special streaming on Hulu. This has been a wild ride, and you'll get to ride alongside me on this journey.
Lainey Wilson, Bell Bottom Country, now streaming only on Hulu.
Are Nebraska craft beers and ciders important to you? Whether you just love Nebraska brewed beers and ciders or you're a full-fledged craft brewery, there are benefits to membership for anyone with the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Their sole mission is to foster and help grow the Nebraska-centric brewing community. Become a member today at nebraska.beer and help advance the craft beer and cider industry in the state of Nebraska. Find out more about the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild at nebraska.beer.
All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Josh coming off of being serenaded during the break by Miss Cynthia.
Yeah, Miss Cynthia came in here. One of the treats of working here is that on your birthday, she will sing happy birthday to you. And that's one of the better versions that I've heard.
She rocked it.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I was like, yes, keep going. Josh is like, this is good. Now I know it's officially my birthday.
My birthday.
Because it is Josh's birthday. People forget.
People do forget. I would love for them to forget, but here we are.
A quick thing here. Max Olson came out with his re-rank, his annual re-rank. This time it's of the 2020 recruiting class. We've talked about this briefly before. So I don't know if you remember that 2020 class. Also, I don't know if you remember 2020. A lot of things were going on in our country, as we previously have mentioned today. This led to an unprecedented amount of transfers. Nearly 60% overall. That's over all signees of all classes. That was the attrition rate.
At all schools?
Out of 2020. At all schools. Maybe it's just power schools.
Sure, probably.
Nearly 60%. I believe that's what Max looked into here. But 60% across the board, which is, I mean, that's a wild number. We're 2 years into the transfer portal being, the immediate transfer portal being open. It's the game has changed a little bit by 2020. Nebraska was credited with the number 20 class in the country, according to the 24/7 Sports Composite team rankings on signing day.
Hell yeah.
Did Nebraska fall out of the top 25, Josh?
I don't imagine how you could fall from 20 to lower than 24, 25 at the worst.
Wrong, Josh. Wrong on your birthday. Sad.
Really?
Do you think they fell out of the top 30? They couldn't have, right?
Come on. Players are players. They're all pretty interchangeable, right?
You think they fell out of the top? Well, they did fall out of the top 30. Do you think they fell out of the top 35?
Surely one player would stop the bleeding for Nebraska football.
Nebraska did get a couple hits in this class. Not many. So how Mac's system went, you get 5 points for being an All-American, award winner, top 50 NFL draft pick type of guy. These are vague-ish categories. 4 points for a multi-year starter / all-conference honors. 3 points for a one-year starter or a key backup. 2 points for a career backup and 0 points for minor or no contribution at all. Nebraska has signed 30 players in this class, not including the transfers that came in. Guys like Nuri Newili was a transfer in this class. He does not count.
Darn.
Yes, darn is right. Out of the 27 signees, there were 27 signees. The average on Max's point scale, according to my math, I had to make some decisions on some guys on how many points they were allocated.
Feels like Max should be deciding those things.
I didn't text Max this morning. I should have, just to get his official count on this. Because the reason why we don't have this information is because they didn't make the top 35. And my guess is they didn't make the top 60. This class sucked. So 1.1 was the average. 1.1. The top team, who was Georgia, who hit on the highest rate, was 3 flat. They went 50-4 over the last over their 4-year career, 4-year stretches of their career.
All right, I guess that's good.
Nebraska had 27 signees. Their attrition rate was 70%. More than 70% of those players did not end up finishing their career at Nebraska. And I even gave guys like Xavier Betts 3 points because he was a 1-year starter. He was important for Nebraska in 2020, parts of 2021, right? 20 and 21. He counted. He gets 3 points. He didn't finish his career. Keyshawn Green, Marcus Fleming, Dab Joseph, Alante Brown, Sevion Morrison, Jaden Francois, Henry Gray, Feldarius Payne, Will Nixon, Marvin Scott, Alex Kahn, Ronald Delancey, Marquise Black, Nico Cooper, Eteva Malga Clements, Devin Drew, Daniel Cerny. Really all gave you nothing. I mean, no offense to those guys. The hits in the class were these guys. Isaac Gifford, congratulations. He was awarded, he got 4 points for Nebraska. Turner Corcoran, who he's not an all-conference type of guy, but there's still a chance for him to do something, and he was he's going to end up being a multi-year starter. I mean, he's a multi-year starter already, I guess. So he was awarded 4 points. Nash Hutmaker, was awarded 4 points. All-conference type of guy, potential award winner, type of guy this year. The following guys gave Nebraska 3. Xavier Betts, Omar Manning, 1-year starter. Jordan Riley, kind of a 1-year starter. Jamari Butler, so far, I think he could go up to 4 this year potentially. And that's it, even though Riley left and Betts left. So two of the guys that got 3 points for Nebraska also didn't finish their careers here.
Sad.
Shocking stuff. Nebraska, basically what I'm telling you is Nebraska had a gigantic hole in its roster for a long period of time and are just now recovering from it. They're just now filling up the roster enough. And now we've gotten to the point where, of course, scholarship limits don't matter anymore because you can pay guys NIL money and just get away with it that way. But Nebraska's just now getting back to the point where they have a full roster of 85 to 90 players that they feel like they can maximize those guys rather than just, hey, we have 50 that we think we could that could play for us, and then we have a few guys that are filling holes and taking their scholarships and going to school for free. And that's about it. Nebraska's just now recovering from that. Make no mistake about it.
I know we kind of got to get it rolling here, but Max asked a good question on YouTube.
Hi, Max on YouTube.
Do you think this list tells us more about development or about recruiting practices?
Which one does it tell us more about? 2020 was obviously Frost would tell you this because it was his class, but I think anybody would say that 2020 was just an odd year.
What was so odd about it?
If they had won some games and they they might have been able to keep some of those guys around.
Big Ten didn't look committed to football in a lot of people's eyes.
There was a lot of different stuff going on.
Sure.
There was a lot of different stuff going on. So I don't know. There's probably not a way in which this class was really going to work out good, unless you're Georgia and you just, you get a couple 5 stars to hit and that carries for 4 years. So I don't know that we have a complete answer to that question, weirdly enough. Sorry, Max, but it's definitely a little bit of both. Quick timeout, come back with the polls, tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone. But first, we are knee deep, waist deep even, into the NBA playoffs, and it's time for you, still time to get on the action with the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet, $150 to use on things like same game parlays, live bets, These will be so clutch for the NBA Finals, which, of course, starts next week. But there's still another Western Conference Finals game to bet on. You could take a look. The Timberwolves are favored to continue that series. So if you'd like to bet on that, you could do that. $5. If you win, you get $150 in bonus bets. It's time to take advantage right now on America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel.com/Happer, and get your butt started. Get your butt up here. As Anthony Edwards would say, that's with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over, present in Iowa, first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit is required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Are Nebraska craft beers and ciders important to you? Whether you just love Nebraska brewed beers and ciders or you're a full-fledged craft brewery, there are benefits to membership for anyone with the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Their sole mission is to foster and help grow the Nebraska-centric brewing community. Become a member today at nebraska.beer and help advance the craft beer and cider industry in the state of Nebraska. Find out more about the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild at nebraska.beer.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and more. Plus, all our vehicles come with fair, transparent pricing and no dealer fees. So you only pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Get started at BaxterFord.com.
Sad Husker fan comments in on YouTube. He
Hi,
says,
sad Husker fans.
Scott Frost killed this program.
The Connor Happer show program or the
no, he would have said this program.
True. I don't know if that's trademark infringement.
Scott Frost was bad. He didn't kill anything.
Oh,
he didn't. Scott Frost sucked, but he didn't kill anything
because he didn't have that killer mentality.
He didn't kill the Nebraska football program. It's okay. It's just taking a while to recover from him and not so much because they got it back going as well as they could. Frost did. Obviously, that was when the coaching warts came out, to roost most in 2021. But they were a lot better. But the results were not. Obviously,
they were close.
So, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that left the roster in a bad situation. And they got some stability now, that's for sure. At least a little bit more. To the polls.
Got one from yesterday's crossover.
Okay, let's go there.
Mm-hmm.
Has a cat ever been funny? Now, this is very definitive.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. That means only a cat has to be funny one time.
I agree with your premise of cats are not funny on the internet, but yeah, a cat has been funny.
I'm still going to say no.
Garfield exists.
56% only say yes.
You were right there. Right?
I think we did okay on that one. I'd like to bring attention to a poll question that I did last night.
Oh, please.
The question was, are leaf blowers just Bluetooth rakes? Think about it.
I did ponder this last night, and I think you're onto something.
Thank you. Unfortunately, 60% said no.
Oh.
To the polls from today. Is Chicago the Big Ten's Hoover? Doesn't really hit the same, does it?
No. I liked it at the time. I don't like it now.
57% say yes, it is.
Why?
I don't know. Do you feel the natural pull to be better than Des Moines?
I am every single day.
I do
of my
actually.
Life.
73% agree.
We're trying to start a rivalry with a radio show in Des Moines.
Just Des Moines in general.
Yeah.
I want to fight Des Moines in general. And finally, do you know about Slipknot?
Yeah, absolutely.
I do.
I've met several of the fellas.
You've met the Slipknots?
I have met the Slipknots. Yes.
Nice. Congrats. You got pictures? I'd like to see you in the Slipknots.
No,
together.
I don't think I do have pictures.
Sad. 90% say they know about Slipknot. Good brand awareness by Slipknot.
Very.
Those are the polls. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
Well, the NBA is off tonight because, as expected, the Boston Celtics swept the Indiana Pacers.
Totally.
No worries, no concerns. Everything's fine.
Very normal.
So we go to the NHL, where the Dallas Stars are up north taking on the Edmonton Oilers. 7:30 puck drop on TNT. That is a game 4. Dallas leads that series 2-1. Tigers beating up on the Pirates right now. It was 8-0. I don't know what it is now.
I think it still is. They're actually picturing another game now
because that
on MLB Network.
Wow, they rarely do that. It is on MLB Network. First game of a doubleheader between the Tigers and the Pirates. Paul Skeens will pitch in game 2. Which
hell yeah!
I believe this is a pretty quick turnaround. I believe it's like a 3:30 start.
Oh, we love a true doubleheader.
2-day games for the Detroit Tigers.
Amazing.
At Comerica. Mets host the Dodgers this afternoon on MLB Network. The Atlanta Braves host the Washington Nationals at 6:20 on ESPN+.
Who's pitching tonight?
Former Husker Schwellenbach with Scott
Spencer.
Who's Scott Schwellenbach?
Schaefer made a point. That's nobody.
Okay.
Schaefer made a point today on Twitter. So we were talking about that Arkansas Regional in 2021. Spencer Schwellenbach's last collegiate appearance was in that game, in which he came in relief of Kyle Perry, friend of the show.
Still on the team.
Still on the team.
Amazing.
Also, I believe Schwellenbach pitched in the first game of the regional. I think it was against Northeastern. And Cade Povich pitched. Also still teammates with Kyle Perry. Also almost in the major leagues. Cade Povich, I think, is up to AAA already.
Wild. The Cubs will look to have 7 no-hit innings be for nothing against the Milwaukee Brewers again tonight, 6:30 on MLB Network. And the Yankees are out west taking on the Angels, 9 o'clock first pitch on MLB Network. WNBA, Phoenix Mercury at the New York Liberty, 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. NBA TV, 7 o'clock, Las Vegas Aces at the Minnesota Lynx. 7 o'clock on Ion, Connor. I know you're going to have to dig through the guide and find Ion.
I don't know where it is.
It's that time of the year, the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Oh, yes.
96th annual competition continues from Washington, D.C. as spellers from across the world go head-to-head in the ultimate spelling test. Omahan Sarah Fernandez, a 6th grader, finished 10th last year.
Where are you at, Des Moines?
She is back in the competition this year. Go, Sarah. Des Moines could never.
Des Moines not represented. We don't know that for sure, but definitely not.
And finally on Max, a documentary titled Movie Pass, Movie Crash. It examines how Movie Pass, the theater ticket subscription service, went from a stratospheric success to a catastrophic failure as predicted in the moment by one Josh Odson. Hey, Josh, why don't you have Movie Pass? You go to the movies all the time. Because it will kill movies.
Love that, Josh.
And
yes.
it did.
Excellent. Great take. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is what we're watching tonight, and that is the show. If you missed anything, you can find it all conveniently located on our website, 1620thezone.com. The crossover is next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal are coupons valued at $50 on sale for just $25 to the Woodcliff Restaurant at Woodcliff Lake in Fremont. It's perfect for a romantic dinner or to bring the whole family to enjoy a culinary treat for any special occasion. $50 on sale for just $25 to the Woodcliff Restaurant at Woodcliff Lake in Fremont. This week's half-off deal.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Shop Sid Dillon Chevrolet, Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo, or shop at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon. Make the right call. John Higgins, let it go. The home of the Rooferys.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more Da Vinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferys. Make the right call.
DQ presents how to enjoy the 3 best cookies at the same time. First, grab the new Ultimate Cookie Blizzard from DQ. Then dig into Oreo, Chips Ahoy, and Nutter Butter. And last but not least, repeat! Because the new Ultimate Cookie Blizzard packs all 3 into one powerhouse of a treat. So you can enjoy the best cookie trifecta in every red spoonful. Hurry in for a taste today. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Introducing Modern Real Estate, the game changer in Nebraska's property market. With a competitive 2% commission rate, we're making buying, selling, and investing more affordable and transparent than ever. Our experienced agents blend local expertise with cutting-edge technology to provide top-notch personalized service to all clients. Don't settle for less when you can save big without compromising. Visit modernrealestateco.com and experience the future of real estate today. Modern Real Estate, redefining the way you do real estate.
Flo here.